Oh, are we starting?
Yeah.
I hadn't said it yet. We actually weren't fully started when you said, are we starting? But that's okay.
But like we're recording.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
You're
that's
good.
good to know.
It
You're
was
on
the
time.
music. Yeah. I was just going to fade out and then like start. And then it was just like, are we started? And I was like, here we are
I
now.
didn't know because I thought you were like still resetting the thing. I didn't know what was happening.
Anyway,
This is a podcast, barely.
Yeah, barely.
We are Crosscut Cinema. We review movies in full spoiler reviews, usually 2 movies.
That's what we're going to do today.
Yes.
2 movies.
But today, kids, we'll
It's a
also
little
be
different.
we'll also be diving in a thesis I've had for over a decade.
I think we're going to break the internet and the world. I think that this is going
I
to split
agree.
some things open.
No, but seriously,
Yeah.
make sure to watch till the end of the video, or at least skip to the annotation where we put like our theory or whatever.
Right. This because I feel like it's really big. I feel like it's really important, and I feel like the world needs to know.
Yeah.
I agree with
Like
this.
we can't keep this information quiet.
It's
anymore.
a truth that I've known for so long, and not many people have known. And I really has just been confirmed for me.
Yeah,
But anyway,
it really needs to come out, and I think today's the day. We've been talking about it for so long.
Right.
Mhm.
In other news, we are Crosscut Cinema. We already said that, but I am Franny.
I'm Madison.
I think you're the one that's actually said that as well.
Yes. It was me.
Crosscut cinnamon rolls.
Crosscut Cinema. Oh, that sounds
Crosscut
good.
Cinnabon.
Who are you?
I'm Bridget.
I'm Logan. My tummy hurts.
Are you okay?
Does your tummy
Sorry.
actually hurt?
I'll
Are
be
you
okay. My tummy just has like a twinge in it, and I'm just like, I don't know what that means.
Are you nervous?
Does it mean somebody stepped on your grave?
No, that's just with cold chills.
Stepped on your grave?
Yeah,
Did you
we,
not hear
we
that
just
whole
talked about
thing?
that. When you get a cold chill, Bridget says that it means somebody like walks over your gravesite.
That's what I was always told as a kid.
And I've never heard that before in my life.
You didn't react when we were all saying this, and I was wondering why, because it was fucking ridiculous.
I'd never heard that before I met Bridget, and I think it's crazy.
Where was I when you guys were saying this?
Right here.
Like, right
Here was
there.
in
That
3
spot
seconds
right there.
before
I was
recorded.
I was probably in the middle of doing that.
I think
think
you
you
were. I
are.
think you were
Makes sense.
focused in on that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is unrelated to anything, but you want to know a weird thing that my parents would always say to me
What?
when we would play board games?
Oh my god.
Oh, somebody better have a timer going, by the way.
I do.
Oh, okay, good. But
chaos.
when we would play board games, I was always like, I don't know, as a kid, and maybe even now, I was like a bad winner, you know? I kind of gloated a little bit.
You don't say.
And my parents would always say, this is what they said to me as a child.
Oh, I
They
know
would
this.
say, those who gloat fuck one-eyed goats.
Did you know you've said this on the podcast before?
Have I really?
Yeah.
When? What episode was
I don't
that?
remember what
That's
episode.
crazy.
It's
no,
a
I
if you
remember
know,
that
you
because
know.
we were in the old studio,
And I was
I don't
like,
remember that at all.
and it was like a joke we had earlier on that I
And-
think that
and
we
then-
like dropped a
That's
little
crazy.
bit.
and then I even like at times I'd be like, watch out for this one-eyed goats, and then I'd be like, Madison, have you seen the director's cut of Brokeback Mountain? Like it was like a whole thing.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember
Yeah.
that now. Well, now I feel stupid.
Yep, we'll cut that out. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, don't
You'll
make me feel
all
foolish.
wish we did, but we won't. Anyway,
I just thought it would be funny at that moment because we were talking about silly things Bridget's parents said, and I thought that would work there. And apparently, I've already told that story. So
But you know
If
what?
I knew like Bridget knew, but I didn't
if
know
you
that I'd said it on
for
here
those
before.
out there with mothers, sorry. If you step on a crack,
Oh.
does it truly break one's back?
I used to be really
Not in my
scared it would.
experience.
Would you like freak out and like
Yeah.
avoid the cracks? And
Yeah.
what if you broke
Bridget's-
your back? Would you like tell your mother, like, listen, I got something to tell you?
I totally would have.
Bridget's got a touch of the old OCD, and I say this very seriously. She does.
Yeah, no, she's been paying with the OCD brush a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's
But
why
we-
I have to say, love you, be safe to literally all of my loved ones when
And
I get off the phone.
Every
Or,
single time she hangs
leaves.
up, it'll be something like, hey, we forgot this thing at your house. We're coming back. I'm like, all right, cool. She'll be like, love you, be safe. I'm like, till you get back? Like, I don't understand.
Or like you'll be going to the bathroom.
Love you, be
Or
safe.
I'll go to bed
Yeah.
and she'll be like, "Love you, be safe," and I'm like,
I
"Okay,
just-
while I'm sleeping."
I just like love you, be safe as we're heading back. I'm like, who's coming? Who's ahead of you? Like, who,
Right?
do, I,
Like, what is the danger?
who do I have to fight off?
Like the end of every conversation with Bridget feels like I'm going to war. Like I'm like on a train, like waving my hanky at her.
What was
She's
that
telling me
one-
to be safe
what was
out
that
there and
one-
not get shot.
What was that one really bad Korean film we watched where it was like the dude was like in the war and went off to war?
What was that called?
I can't remember.
Was it like winter, spring, summer, and fall? Because that was one. Because it was for a class, and that was one that I watched.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if it was
I
that
think
one.
I think it was that one because I think it was like split up into 4 different
Something
I
stories.
just remember when he was going out, like we hated the couple so much. Then he was like, "I'm going off. I'm leaving for the." And we were like, "Good,
like go.
go, get out of here.
Yeah, I didn't care for that movie too much.
Get the fuck out of here." Anyway, we're talking about Rocketman. We're just gonna go straight into it.
Yeah, let's talk
All right.
about Rocketman.
So Rocketman is a biopic.
Oh, should we say the other movie we're doing?
Oh, okay. We're going to do Rocketman, and we're going to do 8 Mile, and then we're going to break your brains.
Hell yeah.
But we got to get through it quick, or we're not going to have enough time.
I do want to say, like, the reason for this, it seems odd unless you know that Elton John and Eminem are best friends.
Yeah,
So,
oh, yeah. So the relationship
We
is
should-
actually...
we should say
not,
that.
Not only are they best friends, but there was a pivotal moment where, like, Eminem was almost going to get canceled, and he reached out to Elton John. Like, this is a long time ago. And then they ironed things out for things that Eminem had said in the past. But also, he was his legitimate sponsor when Eminem was recovering from being a drug addict. So they're very close.
Yes.
Like, they're like this isn't just like a
Eminem-
random pair up. This is a biopic about two very famous people who are very
Good friends.
and tied together as
Eminem
well.
bought Elton John a cock ring.
This,
That's it.
yeah,
That's
the
true.
What?
he bought him and his husband a cock ring for their anniversary.
Well, two cock rings.
Two diamond encrusted cock rings. And
Oh
then
my God.
Also, the stand performance with Elton
Oh,
John
hell yeah.
is one of the most. Is a super famous performance from that reward show.
So good.
Everybody loves that performance. But anyway, let's
So
get
yeah, if
into
you didn't know
Rocketman.
that, that's why this is a video that makes
Yeah,
sense,
we're
and not
not-
just two random
We're
movies
not
that
just
we
like,
chose.
both their names start with E. Also, they're similar films. They're both in
Yeah.
a sense
They are.
a coming up story about a musician.
Yeah.
Very different.
I could say more, but I don't want to spoil what happens later.
No. So, Rocketman, right? Starring our boy Taron Egerton.
I think it's Egerton, but I'm
Egerton?
not 100% sure.
Love him in Kingsman. He actually got this job because of Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle. He worked with Elton John. Elton John knew that the Rocketman movie was going to be made, and they were trying to get him to accept Tom Hardy, but he vetoed Tom Hardy because he's like, he can't really sing like me, and he doesn't look like me. He's going to be like a hot version of me. And they instantly became friends, and he goes, oh, I wish you could sing. He's like, I can sing. And he's like, oh, you're playing me in a movie. And that's
Yeah.
how he got the job.
That's insane.
I like Taron
That's so
Egerton a
fun.
lot. I like him in Kingsman, and I liked Kingsman 2. I loved Elton John in Kingsman 2, The
Yep.
Golden Circle.
Very good.
Yeah.
I don't know if the movie's that good.
It's
but
not that
scene's,
good.
But that scene's great.
No, I dated somebody who's like really into those movies, like a hardcore amount for whatever reason. So I have seen it many times.
I mean, they're good.
No, yeah, I know, but like it's not something you think of somebody's being like a hardcore fan of Kingsman, the
Yeah.
the Golden Circle,
It just seems...
and the King's
yeah.
Man, a stupidly titled movie coming
That
to
they're-
theaters
that they're-
near you.
That they're afraid to release.
Why?
They pushed it before COVID, guys. I just to get on the Kingsman for a second. I swear to God, we'll review Rocketman, but I find this interesting. So, the King's Man is the Kingsman sequel, starring like.
Well,
the
it's a
first,
prequel.
Well, it's a prequel. I was gonna say starring like the original people that were like started the Kingsman.
Yeah,
crime.
it takes place like way in the
way
past.
before, like the beginning of the Kingsman.
Like Rasputin is a character in this movie.
And apparently, there's not a lot of comedy in it, which kind of defeats the purpose of Kingsman. And also, they made the whole movie. They released like the previews for it for critics. Critics were like super not even that negative about it, but you know, were like whatever about it, which is sometimes almost worse.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they just weren't going to release their movie until later. And then COVID happened. Like, oh, it's because of COVID. But like they had announced in February.
Yeah,
That they were no longer going to have it in March. So don't let them fucking fool you into thinking it's a good movie they couldn't put out. They knew it was poop. And I have a feeling it's going to be poop, but we'll review that eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be that good, but I mean,
We'll see.
But I see a trailer for it like every time I go to the movies. Like, and I've been
Yeah.
to the movies a few times, like kind of since things have cleared up and being vaccinated and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
weird.
We'll have to see. Maybe I'm totally wrong. You know, Rush Hour 2 is better than Rush Hour 1. Who knows? All right.
Anyway,
Anywho,
Rocketman.
Rocketman. So, yeah, starring our boy Taron. It's a musical, and obviously the music they use is all of Elton John's like greatest hits. Although they do him over some, which I was like kind of annoyed by.
yeah, like I wish they had spent more time on some.
That's
songs.
why they call it the blues. You have a 10-second piano reel of
Yeah,
that.
that song's
That's one
so
of the greatest
good.
songs of all time.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just wish that song had gotten a little more time. There were other songs that I wish had gotten a little more time.
They didn't use that "Kill Myself" song he wrote, whatever it's called. I planned to. You remember what I'm talking about? It's like I planned to kill myself or something.
Yeah, I can't
They
think of the
didn't
name
use
of that
it in a
song right
movie
now.
where Elton John tried to kill himself. I'm sorry, but it does seem like you
Right.
missed because that
Right.
song's not like that's a very heavy emotional
Is
song
it?
about
I
that.
think I'm going to kill
I
myself.
think I'm going to kill myself. They didn't
Yeah.
use that in the movie. I feel like that's something they should have probably
Right.
used. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they used it for like half a second, but I
I
didn't
don't
catch it.
think they did. I didn't catch it.
I appreciate.
Yeah, I
like-
also didn't catch it.
I love the intro with the bitches back. That's fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
I like that. That was great. Like one of my favorite Elton John songs is Daniel, and that song got like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
And I love that song so much. Like I cry to that song for no reason at all.
I didn't realize because I never really like actively listened to Elton John.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize like 5 Elton John songs play at work. So I hear like 5 John songs every fucking day.
Because 5 Elton John songs play every work at every
Yeah.
place.
True. Very true.
Because they're like I'm Still Standing is his 8th biggest single, and I hear it every fucking where I go.
Honky Cat has been stuck
Honky
in my
Cat
head
all
for
the time.
days.
Okay. Or
Because it plays at work.
Get
So-
back.
Honky Cat.
Pinball Wizard.
That plays
Pinball
at work.
Wizard. Tiny Dancer.
Tiny Dancer.
plays
Tiny Dancer.
all the time. But I
But-
love that song, so I don't even care. I really don't give a
And by
shit.
the way, shout out to my dad. His favorite song ever is Your Song by Elton John. And I get
like
why.
that song. That plays at work.
That is a beautiful song.
That's legitimately his best song. And the reason why, not to just like go into like stuff about the songs, but I feel like the songs are such a big part of the movie, so we can talk about the songs too. But Your Song is so good because for one, he is the one who wrote the lyrics of that song,
Yeah.
which is crazy because he doesn't write any of his own lyrics.
I cry in the movie.
But also
It was
like
for Bernie.
you know, it's about like it's so visual in the way he's like talking about selling potions at a traveling show. Like it's a very visual song where like you paint a real picture, but it's so interpretable. It can
Yeah.
really
It's gender
mean anything
neutral,
to
too.
anybody.
Very much.
And like it's such a pretty song, but just about like the soul, and like it's so good. And the way they fucking put in this movie was brilliant.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
God.
so good.
That was the bet. Like just right after like a really terrible rejection he essentially had when he tried to like kiss Bernie and everything,
Yeah.
and then also their career just having like such a weird like spiral down, you know, like not really getting where
Right.
they want, and then he just writes this song and it's what broke through.
And it's
what
beautiful,
made
yeah.
it. It's a beautiful song. I think you probably heard it, but if you haven't, that's definitely the
It's so
number one
good.
Elton John song, I think, in my opinion.
One of my dad's favorite songs is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and I love the
yeah.
way that song was
Ooh.
used in the movie as well.
Were you working at our insert job name here when Elton was playing at the big stadium?
No.
You could hear his music. It was the Yellow Brick
Oh my
Road
God,
tour.
that sounds
I heard
amazing.
Elton John singing Elton John all day long. When
That
I
sounds
worked.
amazing. I would
was
love.
great.
He's like done touring now, or he's like gonna be.
Yep. Yeah, that was the last
Sad.
one.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the last tour. I remember thinking, oh no, I didn't get a ticket to Elton John because I have to work here, and then I got to listen
And
to
then
it
he was
free.
like there. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and like when we were like when you just look outside, there's a giant jumbotron that you can see his face. Like it's like going to the concert for free.
Right. That's dope. Yeah, Elton John, like, I don't know, I love this movie. Elton John was a big part of my childhood. I listened to Elton John a lot when I was a kid because, like, my parents like him a lot, and my dad specifically likes Elton John a lot. And then as a kid, I didn't really appreciate him, but now as an adult, like, so much more than I ever did, like, when I listened to Elton John's music, which I do frequently.
And just like Eminem and other great artists, like God, his home life
Yeah.
was an insane struggle from not just from being gay, but just from being a neglected child. Like it wasn't even just like the standard, oh, I'm gay and I have to deal with that like hardship. I have people who don't care about me.
Yeah, his
And they're
parents
the
are
only
very,
people
like,
around me.
emotionally absent.
His weird
from his life.
stepdad he caught making out with his mom
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the nicest person in his life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Except maybe his grandma.
But his grandma too was also like
Kind of distant regardless.
distant, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also a little, homophobic probably, my guess.
Yeah.
But something he didn't probably want to mention in the film, but undoubtedly was there. But you do kind of, it does give you perspective that like a little boy out in the middle of nowhere was like amazing at piano to the point where like he was offered a chance to go to a school and like learn to craft it. And
Yeah.
he almost didn't get taken, but thankfully his grandma took him, and then he fucking became Elton John.
Yeah.
That is so insane to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember my dad he lived in Gary, and when you're out in Gary, you always hear people talking about Michael Jackson and like his family and stuff. And it's really crazy to think like he came, I mean, I don't want to give him any props. I'm just saying in general, like he's obviously an icon in music, and he came from like a situation where he was in like a tiny home where they had to sleep in the fireplace sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
In the fireplace?
There's no room on the floor.
Yeah.
And then that dude becomes Michael Jackson. Like, it's,
Right.
it really, what I'm
Right.
trying to say is you should encourage artists.
Yeah.
Because you never know who they actually
Oh, yeah.
fucking are.
Yeah. And like,
It
he has
takes
like
nothing-
a true gift.
It takes zero out of you to be like, that was really good. And like, even if like, there's a part of you that's like, well, it's not really my thing, but whatever. If you encourage somebody, it's free, and you could be making the difference of not having Elton John or having Elton John.
Right.
And that's
Very
real.
true.
So everybody who wants to be negative on people trying to do things like stream or make music or fucking skateboard, I don't know.
Or podcast.
Like seriously, like just, or podcast. Yeah. I mean, we can relate to that.
Yeah.
Like encourage people. I think that's a big message that like the movie says without directly saying it. What was your guys's like? Well, first of all, like, we kind of explain what the movie is about. It's about Elton John's life. What was your guys' like favorite moment from the movie?
This is going to be really dark, but like when he tries to kill
No,
himself.
it's so artful and like
And then like he sees himself down there, and then later on when they're like rushing to the hospital, like the dance kind of after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the hospital
was
dance.
really
that
impressive.
haunting moment where that guy says, "You selfish." Like I was like,
Yeah, I
what the
was
fuck?
pissed.
That was crazy. But you know that's totally accurate too.
Yeah.
I think for me the same thing. Like that whole sequence of him like going to the hospital, like and then like immediately like they turn him around and then he's like out on stage.
Yeah.
Like that happens so often with performers. Like that's a real thing. Is like people like performers will be struggling. And we see it all the time, but they like have to keep working and working because it's a money game, and like you see
And not
that a
not
lot.
even usually not even by their own choice because they're owned.
They're contractually obligated to do things.
And even those who aren't contractually obligated, if you are a musician and you have handlers and you have people who do your stage check and all, you like are responsible for feeding people and like taking care of them.
Yeah.
And maybe we should have more of an understanding of like, I can't do that right now and you just need to find another job. But it is difficult for somebody when they know like they're the reason you have a paycheck and they're the reason that you can support your family.
Yeah.
Why he'd be like, I guess I'm just gonna keep going, and that's what he
Yeah.
did until he fucking couldn't anymore.
Yeah, and then I think my other favorite was when he has that like.
I was gonna say, can I say my favorite first?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
My favorite was when he's at like the club for the first time in America. And he's playing the piano and he starts lifting up and the crowd starts lifting up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
that's
was
such
such
a cool moment.
good representation of like he's like quite literally he's on the rise, but also like there was a magical historical moment there where like
Yeah.
I don't know like if if you want to like get into like fate and all that stuff, but it was like a good representation of like this is a significant moment that was always meant to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cool the way they represented it, like actual magic in the room. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so like my other favorite thing was that like when they're in the restaurant and he orders a bunch of dessert and he has this like confrontation with Bernie kind of. I don't know, like that just felt like a really like cathartic pivotal moment in the film, and then like Bernie kind of walks away and he realizes like how he's fucked up.
And I think it was really honest too.
Yeah.
Because there's so many like biopics that don't want to talk about like the nasty side, but like Elton John is a notorious diva.
Yes.
Like a legitimate diva. Like throws hissy fits, gets into beefs with people. So that when they showed that, they really showed like, oh yeah, like sometimes he is like totally uncentered and not like the chill Elton John he can be. Like he can like flip out and be dramatic.
And also the cocaine, that'll do that to you as well.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something, Franny?
I was just thinking about at the end when they were talking about like Elton John now, how they're talking about like how he's not an addict anymore, but he is still addicted to shopping.
Yes, I loved that.
so
I loved
funny
all
to me.
I loved all the pictures of the outfits too.
Oh yeah, but my favorite part, I really like the ending when he's like confronting younger him and like they hug.
Oh yeah, finally gets hugged. Yeah.
And I forget when they say it, but I like when he talks about how he has to like kill like his old self to like become who he's meant to be today. I think that's a good
I was
message.
thinking about that.
It was like a jazz musician who told
Yeah.
them
Yeah,
that.
I've been thinking about that a lot. Like that's just
Also,
been stuck
like-
in my head.
Like I just love like all the gay dudes at like the jazz club who are like, he's gay as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
let him fool you. And he's just like, well, I don't think your girlfriend's gonna be very happy about that. He's like, oh shit.
I mean, he didn't really try hard to fool anybody, according to like
yeah, no,
how he
I mean,
plays
and
it.
Elton John has been
Yeah.
out since like the 70s too.
Yeah.
Like it's been a thing. Everybody just kind of knows, and I love that
it's
for
like
him.
It was like an open secret,
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, he's very open about it now. Obviously,
know.
but
I
like
like-
back then, yeah, it was.
I like
very
the
much
part where he
just a-
came out to his mom too, and she's just like, "I've known for years."
Yeah,
I really loved like there was a lot of musicians at that time who were like so clearly gay and like people were still kind of shocked when they came like Freddie
Yeah.
Mercury and shit.
yeah,
like,
that's who I was
Yeah.
thinking of
like
too.
what part of it isn't gay to you? Like that's the only thing I'm like. It's in the identity of the song, the fact that he's an outsider and different. That's always his identity. Is he's like I'm
Right.
coming from a different world perspective than some people. So for people not to get that he's gay always made me laugh because it's so obviously a part of his identity.
Yeah, and I loved something in the movie too, where they often talk about how he has to like reconcile with the kid that he was, and like the person that he came from, and like be that kid again. But then also that like who he's supposed to be is the performance. Like they often talk about like why don't you just strip it all down and just do it? And it's like that's not who he is. Like that is just as much a part of it as anything else. And I think that that's like a really beautiful thing because that is important.
Yeah.
that's who he is. Like his persona is who he is.
He made, I wouldn't necessarily say rock and roll, but he gave music, and in a sense, as a result, rock and roll pageantry.
Yeah.
Where like there's like, hey, you know, people are coming to see this. It's more than just performing the music. They want a fucking show.
Yeah.
And like, I think him doing that is what led to Freddie doing it and other artists, and then it just became like I in a way you can kind of, if you hate hair metal from the 80s, you should blame Elton John, because that's exactly why they did it.
Right.
Oh my god, the part I really like this part where he's like clearly like strung out and like shit's been rough, and like he's about to go on stage for something, and he has that like ridiculous headpiece, and they're I forget who's talking to him, one of his friends or something, are like, are you okay, and he's like, how could I not be? I have the biggest headpiece in fucking show history.
Or when he came out and like he was like, didn't know what city he was in. Apparently that really did happen a lot.
Fucking boo.
There was an article written about like people concerned that he doesn't even know what zip code he's in because he's so fucked.
That's insane.
Yeah, but I mean, like when you're around the world all the time, like,
but you're all, it's
and
not
also
just that,
strung out
though.
on drugs all the time, like you lose track.
If you don't know where you are performing, you're too strung out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't know what time zone you're in all the time because you're traveling everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you don't know the venue in which you're
that's an
performing in
issue.
front of thousands of people,
Yeah.
you're too strung out, bro.
There's one of my other favorite scenes that I just thought about now, because what you brought up is there's this scene where he like has just, I guess, had this really big fight with his like manager boyfriend guy.
Yeah.
And he's like in the mirror, and you see him in the mirror trying to like smile and like put on his like performance face. You know what I'm talking about? That
Yes.
scene is so good. It
really
made me
is.
think of if you've ever seen I, Tonya. There's a very similar scene where Margot Robbie is in the mirror, like putting on her makeup and trying to smile. And then like, Jennifer's Body too has a scene like that where she's like putting on her makeup and trying to be normal. It's just such a good moment. And it made me immediately think of that moment in like other films, which I think is always a cool thing when it happens, like when it's done really well.
I
loved that moment.
I do have negative things to say though, and I think that now's probably the time, since we talk so much about it, and you know that I like it, I can say the negative things now. I feel like the characters of his family especially, but a lot of characters, were left a little underdeveloped. And like, I get the whole fact that his mother's evil. Okay, we get it. His mother's a bad person. I still would like to see an evolution, because whether somebody is like dumb or not, or like you're just awful as a person, they will change over time. But this mother was basically the same person from the beginning of his career to the end. I just don't believe that.
Yeah, and
the only time I ever saw a difference was when they were trying to get him to buy that vacation home, because that's something that's an evolution, because he's rich now and he can do that, and they probably, from that you get that they probably mooch money off of him. But every other aspect of her character was zero different. And we're talking about the mother of Elton fucking John. She definitely would have changed as far as a personality would go, or a persona.
Yeah, and I feel like we kind of got to see an evolution with his dad, because we see him
Definitely.
with this new family.
Yeah.
New family,
and
but
that's like,
still has that cutoff of like, I hate you.
yeah, and that's like really interesting and like a really heartbreaking moment, and it's like it feels very like raw and emotional. And then I don't know, I guess we just don't get the same level of it with his mom, and I do think that like I wish there was a little bit more.
And like the fact remains too, like these characters are influential to his development, and like I really like the way they transitioned, you know, from Saturday Night's All Right to like into his adulthood, essentially, or his teenagehood. That was cool and all, but I do feel like we left a lot of character development kind of on the cutting room floor a little bit. I really feel like we spent a lot of time with him during his drug spiral, and there was a couple of times where it felt like we were kind of repeating the same thing, you know, like we get it, he's strung out, we're going over it again. As much as that's powerful stuff, I feel like we could have spent that time developing his childhood a little bit. It kind of felt like Jesus. We went to 13 to like 33, not literally, but there was such a huge gap in time where he was like a 10-year-old into being almost an adult Elton.
Yeah, because I mean the movie kind of,
and we also spent 5 seconds with his wife, who he was married to for 4 years.
that was one of the things I was gonna say, and like especially because the movie, you know, it isn't his whole life. It pretty much ends at his like sort of moving into sobriety, like that. Like it's about the early, like not really early, but like, you know, his rise to fame, and then his rock bottom, and where he came out from that. And so I feel like we could have spent a little bit more time in other parts of his life, because we weren't doing the whole thing. And yeah, like Yeah, his marriage is really interesting to me. I wish we got more of why did you get into this?
Well, I can tell you why.
I mean, I know why, but
I can tell you why you didn't get it though. So like there was a legality issue. Like I didn't just say this. There's a legality. Yeah. It feels so weird saying it again.
The audience didn't know until you said something.
But it felt weird. It felt like I was
feel like you almost have to
restarting.
address it. It's like an elephant in the room.
It was such a like. You're
Anyways,
not gonna
we had
like,
to pause for 2 seconds.
You guys aren't gonna hear it and be like, oh, again. Like that's already happened. That's the gasps are I didn't know that. Like that's already happened. Now you guys do know that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't thinking about it when I said it, but she did sue him when he wrote like an autobiography for. Because I guess it violated the terms of their divorce or whatever.
The terms of their divorce was they weren't allowed to talk about the terms of their divorce. Like that's what it was. They weren't allowed to discuss it. I think
she's not even like on his when you Google him, she doesn't even come up as a spouse.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, when I did, it didn't.
She does.
I mean, I guess if like when you just Google like
just Google Elton John spouse.
I did.
Or even Elton
no,
John.
if you just Google Elton John and you go to an overview, it comes up David Furnish as a spouse twice. And I guess if you press more, but it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. If you press more, there it is.
Nah. They married twice. They married from 2015 to 2014 and then again in 2014.
Wait, what?
What?
The David guy?
No,
the
but you said
married to
2015 to
those years
2014.
No, they broke up. I guess they got
What?
divorced in 2014 and got remarried.
Franny, let me just clarify what you said. You said they were married from 2015 to 2014.
No, I said 2005 to 2014.
No, you said
2015.
And then again in 2014.
Franny, we can just listen back, but you
I
definitely
know.
said
I get what you meant now, but that's not what you said the first
2015 to 2014, right? Isn't that what you heard?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
I got so lost.
My bad.
I was like, hold up, what?
2005 to 2014, and then they got married again that same year. I guess
it's probably a renewal of vows. Maybe.
Well,
I
I
think
wouldn't
it
put
might
it like
be-
that. They must have gotten divorced and then
I
got
think
remarried.
it's like they were in a civil union, like they were in a domestic partnership.
And
because
then
it
they
wasn't
got married
legal.
because it was legal.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it wasn't legal until 2014.
That's
That makes
insane to me.
sense.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? We did live in a world where gays couldn't get married. I mean, we still do. But
Yeah, there's definitely if you go pretty much anywhere else.
yeah.
I mean,
you know.
anywhere like second, third world, you're gonna run into that's not cool, but it is cool. Anyway,
I think it's very cool.
I think it's
pussy.
Yeah, I think it's. I wish I still had mermaid pussy. I don't know if I do.
Oh, we don't have it anymore. Mermaid pussy.
Still got it.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, thank God. I was
thought we were
worried.
gonna have to recreate it.
It can never be recreated.
Yeah.
Iconic moments in history.
But yeah, like that's my only issue with Rocket Man. I feel like it was really well done. I think if it wasn't for the year it came out in, it would definitely have been nominated for some stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about the Parasite year. That was one of the greatest years of film in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a really great year to start a podcast about it too.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That was
Look at
We
us.
probably said this before, but that was like the first movie that me and Logan saw together. We went on a friend date.
Parasite,
You took me
yep.
on a friend date, dude. You bought me a grilled cheese donut.
God, that sounds
a
so
friend
good.
messaged me and they said I say 4 movies or 4 or 5 movies in our first video of like what we'll review. We didn't review a single one of the movies I said.
Really? What did we say we were gonna do?
It was like Klaus, something like I Lost My Body or like something like that. Or
oh yeah,
Yeah, I remember
did
watching
watch
that
it,
one.
though.
yeah, no, I
Same.
watched all of it. Richard Jewell and Waves. We didn't do any of them.
We didn't watch.
That's hilarious.
We're gonna fucking do Waves though.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know you've been wanting to do Waves for so long.
It's
it just
like my
happened.
favorite movie from that year, other than Jojo Rabbit. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Jojo Rabbit was so good. We also saw that as a friend date too.
That was a friend date.
But anyway, I don't know why Bridget didn't come for that.
I think I was working.
That's probably what it was.
Oh yeah.
I was working a lot.
But I think we.
I
said
love the sound of Franny's Mountain Dew swishing in the.
You can't hear it on the pod.
I know, but I can hear it.
Yeah, I also can hear it.
And I can't because I'm wearing headphones. That's funny.
I was really confused. I thought that there was like something dripping, like a leak, and I
I
was
thought
like,
somebody
what
had
the fuck is that?
slime.
You thought somebody had slime.
Yeah.
And
they
that
were,
has
like,
happened on this
squishing.
podcast before.
one of the 4 of us.
What?
One of the 4 of us had slime. Is that what you said?
No, I thought that the noise was slime.
So you thought one of the 4 of us had slime?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can see all of us.
Yeah, but I was looking at your faces. I wasn't looking at your hands.
So you think I'm just creepily looking at you while playing with slime under the table, like emotionless, like
Maybe, I don't
patting it
know.
around? That's horrifying. Anyway, we should rate this movie. I feel like if there's anything else anybody needs to say, they should
Wait,
say
when
now,
we
but-
rate it, can you all say your favorite Elton John songs? Because I want to know what they are.
Oh, that's tough. Okay.
Okay, I mean we don't have to do it if you don't want to.
I'll give my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Who wants to go first?
I mean, I'll go first because I feel like I don't like. This movie's made me want to go listen to Elton John. And I also did not realize how much I already listened to Elton John on a daily
Right.
basis.
Right.
Like, I was just looking at a list of songs like Philadelphia Freedom. That one plays at work.
Yeah.
Like, so many. I'd say my favorite one from this movie, like my favorite sequence in this movie with the song was I really liked the honky cat sequence. Even though that guy was evil
Yeah.
that he was with, I liked that sequence. I thought it was fun. I also really liked the Your Song. I'd give this movie I really fucking liked this movie. I would give it a 10.
Hell yeah,
Wow.
dude.
Oof, I'm gonna disappoint.
And I didn't think I'd like this movie. Like, I was kind of putting off watching it because I was like, I really don't want to watch a fucking biopic.
I'm not the biggest like biopic person either, and I'm not the biggest music biopic person. I still haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody. Probably won't ever
neither.
because I heard it's pretty bad.
The fucking editing is ridiculous. It's a reverse shot like it's the fucking Disney Channel.
And as we all know, I don't really like Rami Malek that much, so I probably will not see it. But I also am not a big music biopic person that much, so I kind of was like reluctant to watch it too.
Yeah,
But it turned out good.
Yeah, it turned out really good. But yeah, I think I would give it like a 9 out of 10. I really liked it. There is not a lot that I didn't like about it. I loved like the musical sequences. I thought they were appropriately over the top. My favorite thing about the movie was the costuming. I thought it was so good how they like faithfully recreated those looks. Like that was such an important thing. My favorite Elton John song probably is Rocket Man, and it has been for a long time. But as I said before, I love Daniel, and I love Your Song as well. You can tell everybody. You know?
Oh, I know.
Could I tell everyone that is your favorite song?
Yeah, you can tell
It
everybody.
may be quite simple, but now that that's done, Bridget.
Yeah.
So I really liked The Bitch Is Back. I thought that was
Bitch
so
is back. That's such
fun.
have you ever heard you were a fan of Glee, right?
Yeah.
They did a combo song of Dress You Up in My Love and The Bitch Is Back, and it's actually really fucking
The
it's a
second you
bop.
guys started singing The Bitch Is Back, that's where my
I'm
brain
gonna
went.
dress
I was
you
like,
up
you're
in
going
my
to just...
all over your body.
Bridget, I have a question.
yeah.
So you two went to Bob Evans before coming over.
Yes.
You wore your sweater with an alien bitch on it with 3 titties.
Yes.
To Bob Evans?
You
Yes.
probably had all those old ladies in that Bob Evans just like, what is that lesbian wearing?
That girl's
No.
got boobies on her shirt.
I will
Well,
say this: our
listen.
hostess was definitely gay.
I love it.
They had like a barbed wire necklace. It was sick as fuck.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was great.
that's some gay.
Only gays wear that.
Hey kids, my thoughts on Rocket Man.
Yeah, sorry. I just
Oh,
need
sorry.
to address
Wait,
the
but
3
Bridget didn't
titty.
say hers either.
Oh, that's right. You only
Yeah.
said the song. Sorry.
So The Bitch Is Back is my favorite song, I think,
That's
especially
awesome.
in this.
What a weird
I
favorite.
love that.
I love
I
it.
feel like if I was like, my favorite Elton John song is Crocodile Rock. but it is
Crocodile
so good
Rock's a
though.
total Bob, dude.
Right. And I really didn't think I was going to like this movie. We kind of put it off until the very last
watched it yesterday.
minute. We watched it last night.
Yeah, we watched it. Did we watch it yesterday? No, the night before.
But I wasn't expecting to like it, and then I really did, and I was like, fuck, okay. And I was like, oh shit, I really like Elton John. I didn't realize how many songs he had.
Yeah, we had the same moment over this movie where
Yeah.
like, I just want to be an Elton John fan now.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to preface what you said before. That you go, am I going to know these songs? I was like, yeah.
It surprises you.
Yeah,
Elton
you're going
John-
to know these songs.
I mean, Elton John is so like radio friendly too, and like again, every grocery store you've ever been in probably has played like at least 3 Elton John songs an hour.
And for those of us who work retail or have worked retail in the past, you know, it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's there.
but you're
it's
still
a lot
standing.
Yeah.
I do like that one as well.
We're
That was
still
such a
waiting
good-
your rating.
Oh yeah.
I do not want to miss it.
That rhymed also. I liked it.
9
We're
out of
awaiting
10.
your rating.
9 out of 10. I think it was great. I think that they could have delved into his past, like, you know, more than just like him being 10, you know, and then him being like 20. So I agree with that. Yeah.
All right, so I have a different Elton John song depending on like the mood I'm in.
Oh, okay.
If I'm like really feeling in my emotions, like Your Song, or That's Why They Call It the Blues, is the fucking jams,
Yeah.
both of them in different senses. But I really do love I'm Still Standing. I think that song
It's
is
a very good
so
song.
It's
underrated.
great.
It's so as far as like Elton songs go, nobody talks about how much of a fucking bop that one is.
Oh, shout out to Nikita. That's one of my mom's favorite Elton John songs. It is. It's an underrated one. It didn't make this movie, but it is.
Yeah,
good.
definitely didn't make this movie. A lot of good ones didn't make this movie.
But he has like a huge catalog. So I mean,
I mean, yes, but no, because like you couldn't have like played us like medleys in the middle.
Yeah,
like, that was another thing too. Is I just felt like the score was oddly uninspired considering it's an Elton John movie.
Right.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So that's why I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, I did love. This is my last thing. I'm sorry. I did love when there's that scene where he's in his childhood bedroom and he's like imagining composing, and it is the song Rocketman. That scene is amazing. Chef's kiss.
I thought that was fucking ridiculous.
Really, I
really liked it.
I loved it. It's the exact like appropriate level of campiness that I would expect from a film like this.
I just thought that was so ridiculous.
No, I loved it.
Because that also, like, I don't know, that gives me the vibe that they're saying the greatest accomplishment of Elton John is Rocketman, and that's not true. Like, Rocketman's a great song and all, but it's kind of a fucking meme. There's way better songs by Elton John than fucking Rocketman.
I love Rocketman.
Don't get me wrong, but by saying that, they're like, this is the penultimate moment.
I guess, but the movie is called Rocketman.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to fucking throw it in my face again with this kid composing in his
I
living room or in
Whatever.
his bedroom. Looks ridiculous.
It made me think of the Queen's Gambit.
It made me think of Futurama when he plays the flute and like there's a story that plays out. It was really fucking. It was really kind of corny. I didn't actually.
I liked it. I thought it was.
I'm
fun.
glad you brought that up because in the moment I'm like, that's kind of corny.
Nah, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
He's never been a composer either. Like,
Well, he
composes his own music, but he's never stood in front of a band and composed before.
Well, yeah, but like
But that's what he was
doing. But when you're a
doing.
kid, you imagine like.
It
He was
looks
discovering
different in
music,
your
dude.
head.
Like
I
he
don't
was
know,
discovering
man.
what it meant to make music.
It was real corny.
But I like that because what is Elton John if not real corny? Just a real tacky bitch, and I love him for it.
I love that.
Oh my god, I don't think we're gonna live
All
if you
right,
call
guys.
Elton John tacky.
We're going to do a brief pause and come back with 8 Mile.
Hello, we're back and we're talking about stuff. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I don't know how to start
Mom's
that, really.
spaghetti.
Mom's
Vomit on his sweater already.
My knees weak.
Arms are heavy.
Mom's spaghetti. Anyway, so we're talking about 8 Mile, starring Mr. Eminem, and it's basically like a skewed version of his life.
Yeah, it's kind of like an. Wow, there's something really loud happening outside the window. Sorry
won't
if y'all
pick
can
up.
hear that. Oh, really? That's good.
I was worried about that 'cause there's people screaming out there.
If it's
Yeah.
not in the room, it's not picking up.
Yeah. Do people? Is cornhole just a Midwest thing? We could hear people playing cornhole.
People
earlier.
call it beanbag toss in other places.
What?
I know
Just
that
call
'cause
it cornhole.
Well, when I met
Or bag
Franny,
toss.
she was like, well, I called it beanbag toss. She was like, it's called cornhole. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything called cornhole.
But yeah,
I love cornhole. I'll fuck it up on some
I worked with a
cornhole.
lady, and she borrowed our cornhole boards and never gave them back.
yeah.
Fucked up. Cornhole boards are expensive
It's
too.
cool. Her
I know.
kids, Shug and Knight, I sure am
Shug and
appreciating it.
Literally, Shug and Knight.
If she ever hears this, I'm sorry, but
I'm
you
so
named your
obsessed with
kids that.
She also stole your cornhole boards, which is fucked up because cornhole boards are expensive.
They're
I love
really
how-
expensive.
Wait, but they were like multiple years apart. I love how that was always the plan, though.
Yeah, because they were multiple years, these kids. So she went, all right, Shug, Knight's going to be born later.
Like, Knight was just going to be the name regardless of the gender, I guess, which I guess Knight could go both ways, but
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I
but-
mean,
I think
yeah.
Shug is actually better for both genders.
I don't know. If I met a girl named Shug, I would run for
That's
my
kind of
life.
cute,
Yeah.
though.
No.
That's kind of cute. A girl named Shug, that's cute.
Well, you can name her Sugar and call her Shug for short.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
yeah, Shug and Knight were just running around not wearing clothes and
Speaking of
just
Shug Knight.
being neglected.
I know, right?
Aw.
We'll get there.
But yeah, cornhole's fun. As a professional mullet haver, I will fuck it up on some cornhole.
It's Memorial Day weekend,
Hell
and we're
yeah.
in the Midwest.
I mean,
so
fuck America. But
People are wilding
happy
out
Memorial
here.
Day, I guess.
Yeah, we're in a trailer park. This is ground zero.
Oh, I know. I'm sure we'll hear fireworks sooner
Yeah.
rather than
Oh,
later. It is
I've-
getting dark.
I've already heard like
That will
pop-its
pick
everywhere.
up on,
Yeah.
on the audio, guys. So just warning you, you might hear fireworks, but that's just fun. Anyway,
Sorry, listen to our podcast and pay us on Patreon, and we'll get the fuck out of the Midwest.
that's true. That's,
Yeah.
that,
Hell yeah.
I can promise you that.
We want to really bad.
Anyway.
Please. Please get me out of here.
Anyway, 8 Mile, right?
Yeah.
Is this your guys' first time watching 8 Mile?
It was
or-
mine.
I had seen like bits and pieces. I feel like 8 Mile is a movie that's like on TV a lot.
Yeah.
Or at least it was when I was a kid.
So edited though.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, no,
edited.
not even close to the same movie, but
Yeah.
but so I'd seen probably like the first like 30 minutes or so, and then like bits of the middle. But this was my first time sitting down and like actually
And
watching
then
it.
I
So-
had just seen it with you previously.
So with you guys having, because I've seen this movie for a long time. What was your, especially Bridges, this is your first time ever. What were your thoughts on the movie? Did you like it? Was it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. The characters were really well developed, which was surprising to me. I was like, holy shit, was not expecting that.
Did you think it was just going to be Belly or Hustle and Flow and just be like a gangster movie and not really be anything?
I'm sure, but just never seen either of those movies.
I don't know, because listen, when I was a kid and Hamilton was popular, it was starting out to be popular in like the musical theater kids and shit.
How long
before
ago
it came,
was that? Like 2013?
It was like 2015 for me, but probably it came earlier.
So, can you call yourself a kid at that point?
Well, the theater kids click, I guess.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
Like, I don't think you were like a kid.
I'm like,
No.
that sounds like a full-grown adult by my math.
No, she wasn't an adult in 2015.
Weren't you like 18, right?
I was 18.
That's a full-grown adult, Madison.
Oh my God. I don't know. It's just crazy. I forget Bridget's older than me sometimes because I remember being like 15 when Hamilton came out. But anyway.
Yeah, but like...
Which track? She's, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on. Is that math?
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, am I like, did I invent math over here? Or does everybody else understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. But my mom used to get pissed off when I would play Aunt Hamilton in the car solely on the basis that it was rap. And then eventually
Oh my God.
she started laughing at it. And I was like, okay. So, and she was like, shut up.
So
Okay.
Bridget was not exposed to the rap music.
That's what
At
she's
all.
trying to say. Good to know.
Yeah.
But now I make Bridget listen to rap with me. Like we listen
I like
to
it.
we listen to a lot of like 90s, 2000s rap.
Good moment for me to say this.
Oh yeah.
I've always been a stan, 100%. I understand the genius behind Eminem's music. If you don't like Eminem, like you're just wrong. And what I was saying before is there was a moment, I think it might have even been like on the podcast, but maybe off of it, where Madison's like, yeah, you are the kind who like Eminem. I just find him annoying. Huh. How do you feel about Eminem now, Madison?
You know, I've
It
really
was on the phone, I think. It was
It
on
might-
it was
person.
in person.
It
I
was
just
in
don't know if it was on the
person.
I
podcast.
stand by the fact that like you are the kind of person who would like Eminem. I don't know
So
why.
are you!
I know. I'm realizing it now. I'm
You
realizing
said
that
it
now.
like it was
funny.
an insult, but that's you, motherfucker.
I know. I've really come around to Eminem, guys. There's still like I do still find him obnoxious. Like it is obnoxious core to me, but like I do also like it. I don't know.
Obnoxious score.
I have
I like
mixed
that it's-
feelings, but I do like Eminem. I'm developing an appreciation for him. I really have had a turnaround on him, and we'll get to why.
Yeah,
but
but
now
that's
it's not
not the
the
only
time.
reason, though, but-
no, it's not. And I've been listening to like some of his older stuff, and I mean, I never like I don't know that I would say. It's hard to explain. Like. I was always very familiar with Eminem. My mom
Yeah.
really likes Eminem, funnily enough. I mean, it's not funny. If you know my mom, you understand why. Like, my mom's knee deep in the childhood trauma, guys.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's true. But she really liked what's the album? Not Relapse Recovery. She really liked Recovery. That was like the album that we listened to a lot. I remember having it on CD.
Which is weird. I think people hated Recovery, but
I don't know, she liked it.
No, Recovery was the good one. Then the one after that was bad.
What,
according to
Relapse? People didn't like Relapse?
Yeah, I think people didn't like
Yeah.
Relapse.
But so I don't know. I mean, I just like was like meh, Eminem. I thought he was kind of annoying. And then like recently, very recently,
I feel like
I've
you
had
gotta,
a very
you gotta
big
give
turnaround.
me points for this though, because I've been throwing Eminem on you.
yeah, that's true.
Like
And
every
then as
time
a
I come
result, you've been
over.
like, okay,
I am vibing with it. Yeah.
yeah, because
We
that's-
were literally listening to Eminem freestyles the other day.
Yes, just
yeah,
Yeah.
Tim Westwood.
I just remember-
and then he goes off for like 8 minutes about shit that makes no sense, and we're all like, "This is genius."
I didn't listen to it like super young or anything, but I just vividly remember like early high school / like late middle school. I would always take walks just to get out of the house in my little like suburban area. Just like me, a little white girl listening to Eminem, like
I am whatever I say I am.
just walking around my neighborhood.
The music, the moment you want it, you better never let it go.
Yeah, I would just like go hard to Eminem and
So funny.
You're
do
like,
my
I'm
little
not
walks.
afraid
Yeah.
to walk down the street in my suburban neighborhood. White people
Like,
everywhere.
Literally a suburb with an elementary school in
so
it,
funny.
like the
We'll
whitest.
walk to school together.
I thought I just
You
really
know,
loved it.
Eminem really reminds me of. I kept thinking about this when I was watching 8 Mile, and none of you will know who this person is, but Eminem reminds me so much of my childhood best friend's little brother. It's really intensely like a lot. Oh, I thought we were literally recording just now.
No, we are now.
What the fuck? We are so bad at the pauses and the restarts. Okay, so I was talking about how Eminem reminds me of a kid that I knew, and I found that kid very annoying. This is just a random thought I just had, but I would take this kid home from school, like, because I would pick up my siblings and also pick up this kid who went to school with them, because they were like my brother's friend. And this kid would literally like just draw like stupid shit on the condensation of my windows just to piss me off.
Oh my god!
Like, it was horrible. He would draw like
did he wear like the wife beaters and the chains
and shit on my windows, and I'd be like, you cannot do that, dude.
Oh, was it that like one symbol where it's like the
Oh my god.
the like almost like the like
like
diamond
shit
thing
like that,
people would draw?
Yeah, just like bullshit.
Y'all know in the
You
audience
ever draw
what I'm
an
talking
S?
about.
Yeah.
There's always those fuckers who draw S's. And
Like
then
there's
count
one
them.
S.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Is it
Yeah,
that
that
so
like
I understood now.
diamond looking thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every douchey kid.
Yeah.
Every douchey kid drew that. Also, like arrows, like within like the letters, so it looks like graffiti. Like
Right,
very
right.
doucher stuff.
So annoying. Or like tits on my window, which like on brand, but still like I'm trying to drive around the suburbs.
Right.
Yeah. There's always a couple kids like that.
Who just
kind of
remind you of Eminem in like a very like scrawny way.
Who just kind of think they're Eminem.
We're running out of time.
There
here.
was definitely a kid at my school that.
Okay, so let's get to it. Let's talk about
Anyway,
8 Mile then if we're
Yeah.
worried.
Yes, indeed. Okay. So, 8 Mile. Okay. You said that you really liked it. Madison, what were your thoughts on 8
Yeah,
Mile?
no, I liked it a lot. I think it was like, I don't know. I really liked the characters in the movie, and like even I kind of expected it to be very like Eminem focused, which of course it was, but like his friends and the side characters were very well developed, and you felt very
developed characters,
and you felt very attached to them. Like even like Cheddar Bob.
I was about to say, everybody knows
annoying.
somebody who's like Cheddar Bob.
Oh my god, I know.
Everybody has a Cheddar Bob in their life.
Correct.
Talking to you, Dave. I hope you hear this. Dave, you are definitely to show you how much of a Cheddar Bob he is. Sorry, Dave. I'm just gonna tell the story
Poor
of your life real
Dave.
fast. He was walking around with a block of cheese once that he took from my fridge and was eating off of it. You know how you like slice blocks of cheese?
Yeah.
He's just eating from the block.
Amazing.
And he's offering people in the neighborhood a bite.
Oh my
my
god.
You want some
God.
cheese, though?
That's
You want
horrible.
some cheese, dog?
But yeah, even that character who was like very annoying was still like a very heartbreaking moment with him, and like
yeah.
you feel very
He was trying to help at our house. I'm gonna interrupt you one more time for the story. Another Cheddar Bob moment. He one time
You recently told me the story and I fucking died. This is so good.
One time he was like trying to spruce up the house for us, and he was grooming our cats, and he cut their whiskers to be even. So their depth perception was off, and they were running into walls for like 2 weeks. They tried to make a jump, they'd miss.
oh my god.
And then like that night, because Lucky, our cat, was so mad, he shit on Dave's legs.
How do you even cut a cat's whiskers? Like how would you hold that cat still enough to get it to allow
My
you to?
cats were really friendly.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding when I tell you that.
Also,
just,
like,
like,
why
But
would
he
you
did.
do
He
that?
did get cut by my cat Lucky during it though.
I mean, that's good.
He's like, you know why I got this cut, dude? I was grooming your cats, and I'm just like, grooming my cats. And we walk in and like comments like, hey, you know, and then he tries to like jump off the couch, and he just tumbles on the floor.
No.
And then they're trying to go up the stairs, and they like can't do it. Like they're like tap dancing on the
That's
step
so
because they don't know how tall the step
Horrible.
is.
So funny.
Just and they would constantly, if they were running after each other and they were running through a doorway, 50% chance one was hitting the wall at full speed.
Why,
That's hilarious.
why would you do this to the
He didn't realize what whiskers like were. I guess.
thought he
what
was
they did.
helping.
He legit thought like I'm such a because he was staying at our house. Dave, I promise you this is said with love. He was staying at our house at the time and just being an absolutely insane person the whole time.
That's amazing.
He kept wearing my sister's shirts, and I mean like really weird, like girly shirts because they fit him.
yeah
Because he was really small, and me and my brother are not. And so all the time, Tiff would get so sorry. I do that all the time. My sister would get so mad because she'd be out there and he'd be wearing like a fucking sweatpants to say pink on the ass. You know what
I would be mad about
She was
that
like,
too.
what the fuck? You know, she was like so mad about it.
That's so funny.
She hated that. Like she was so mad.
I mean,
about
I
that.
would be mad too.
But it would be so
quite
funny to
literally
just
be
see
pissed.
like a little kitty cat T-shirt on Dave. You know,
That's so funny.
he was definitely the Cheddar Bob of our neighborhood. Anyway.
But yeah, I was like really surprised by how like developed the other characters of the film were, and like how strongly I felt about them, and like how real those friendships felt. And like even the rap battling scenes, which I kind of expected to be a little cringy, and like sometimes they are, but like even those they felt like the stakes felt real, and like you felt invested.
Especially the final rap battle where like he's finally actually going to do it, and then he's going off against Falcon.
Yeah.
And Anthony Mackie's in this movie. We
this is like Anthony Mackie's like first.
We hate Anthony Mackie on this podcast.
Why?
So,
really?
Because he screwed over Franny's work once, but we won't get into the details.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about
You
that
remember
later.
that?
Yeah, fuck Anthony.
We can't tell that
Mackie.
story because it's not our story to tell.
I like Anthony Mackie. He's a very handsome man, but
he's
if he
kind
screwed
of
you
a
over, then fuck
fucking
him.
douche. He should really suck a butt. And Pain and Gain was ass. You should apologize for that shit.
I have no feelings on
I feel
him.
like Bridget barely knows who Anthony
Regardless.
Mackie is, low key.
Barely.
The scene where he's actually battling, and it's this dude that's been giving him so much grief and issues the whole fucking movie, and then he just obliterates him.
Yeah.
It's so iconic. And granted the status of like the story has changed, but really that rap battle actually happened in Cincinnati.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Fun fact. And that's where Dr. Dre discovered Mr. Eminem.
Mr.
That's
Eminem.
insane.
Doctor and Mr. That's so funny.
Yeah, with Esquire Eminem.
Marshall Mathers Esquire.
Marshall Mathers Esquire. I mean, he's been in court enough,
They should just give him a law degree.
At this point, he's got to know all of them. He's been sued by his mother, his ex-wife, and his high school bully, or his elementary school bully, I think, who put him in a coma.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. So Eminem put him in a coma, or
He put Eminem in a coma.
That's insane. What?
And the guy sued him because he talked shit on a diss track or something, or like talked shit on a song.
I mean, you put him in a coma though. That's insane.
Yeah, right. Like, shouldn't you just be like fair?
Yeah, like, okay.
like okay, I get it. That's my bad. Good song. Great job, Em.
Like, what? What? How
Just
old is
imagine
he?
imagine the goal. How old was he? I don't know. Franny, you should Google that real fast.
While she's Googling, what the other thing I loved about this movie is? Brittany Murphy. I love her in this movie.
Oh man, I know.
I love her. Gone too soon.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's really
every
sad
time
that she died.
every time I see Brittany Murphy, like my heart breaks a little. But
And she was legit so good in this one.
no, yeah, she's so good. Like she's a very like interesting, heartbreaking character.
As a 9-year-old, Eminem was
9.
beaten so badly by a school bully that he spent over a week in a coma.
That's insane.
And that guy,
that's
so he
crazy.
talked shit about that guy, and that guy sued him for defamation of character.
like, talk about childhood trauma, and you can't even talk about it.
It's like,
I
how's
mean,
it
it's rife with the childhood trauma. I don't
but the
think that's
defamation was because he
And
insulted
I
him, and
know.
like M like insulted him and like said things that weren't true, but as an insult, like that they were hyperbolic. They were like,
Yeah.
he's a total fucking loser, bitch,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that was the defaming articles, not the fact that he beat him into a coma. Which
I mean,
is
because that
just
was true.
That's insane.
He the song is Brain Damage, and the guy sued him for $1 million, filed a suit for $1 million.
Yeah.
So
In 2001.
Eminem won.
And then his
I
mother,
imagine
won her lawsuit, but won $1,200.
Yeah.
that's
$1,200. That's it.
chunk change.
It's nothing. He's like, goodbye,
Right.
goodbye
He's like-
forever.
He's like, all right, cool, here.
Cleaning out that closet for $1,200.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Honestly,
That's
a bargain.
a bargain.
A
Yeah.
bargain.
I mean,
That's actually just really funny. It's like, what a bargain. Thank you.
Please leave me alone now.
Okay. But yeah, the movie. I loved there was a sense of like removing your disbelief a little bit. Like when he was at the rail yard, or he was at the metal shop, and then all of them started rapping on their break. Like that probably
Yeah.
doesn't happen, but like kind of awesome, and I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know. I almost don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to like get into the other stuff. But like,
Yeah, we can't do that.
but yeah, no. But I think it's cool how he like defends the underdog in that situation.
Yes, I knew you were gonna say something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
he defends the underdog in that situation. I think it's cool, even though that scene is a little like.
And also,
corny.
isn't Exhibit in that scene, or was it Busta Rhymes? There was a famous rapper.
I
in the
think
scene.
I think it's Exhibit.
I mean, how great is it that you got the
Yeah.
Pimp My Ride guy in 8 Mile?
yeah.
If it's not Exhibit, I'll feel stupid. But
Well,
I think it is.
because it's all at he does like, isn't he like tied straight with Detroit, like because of all their car remodeling and everything?
Right? Yeah.
So
I
like
think,
he is kind of like a Detroit icon in a way, and it makes sense to put him in 8 Mile. I think.
Yeah,
Because the movie.
But yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's really good. I like that movie a lot. I don't know.
do you think
was
about the
surprised
burning
by how
house
much I liked
scene?
it. I loved that scene.
That's a fucking
I-
great scene.
It's such
Yeah.
a thick car. I'm sorry. It's such a thick cathartic scene. Jesus Christ.
They're taking back their neighborhood. They're like, we don't consign to having a fucking abandoned house for someone to rape somebody in. So we're gonna burn down this fucking house
so that no other little girls get raped in this fucking house.
Yeah.
And, and then also feels so good. I'm like, yes, burn that shit down.
They found a way to make like arson wholesome.
Yeah. But then also how much of a turning point it is for like Eminem's character as well, where he like wants to take charge of his own life at that point. Like, in a really cool way.
It's the first time he like kicks it up against like the machine that's been pushing him down, like his family and his upbringing. And I do want to talk about like one of my favorite scenes though. The scene where he's in the trailer park and they do that remix of.
I was just thinking about that. The Sweet Home Alabama scene.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so much fun.
That is so fun. I do love that scene. Yeah.
That feels so natural too. Just like hanging out with your friends, like.
And I think that's based off his rapper friend who's actually died.
Yeah, I was reading that actually. Yeah.
And apparently that's actually something they really did. Like that's an accurate retelling of something that really happened, where they did a remix of Sweet Home Alabama, and then they did a mixtape of it too, but it's not available to anybody.
Yeah, like who is Future based off of in the movie, Bridget?
Fuck.
We knew his name in it for a minute.
I don't think it's Kaniva, but
it's Proof.
Yeah, Proof.
But Proof is also in this movie.
Yeah.
Playing somebody different.
Yes.
But yeah, that's like who that character is based off of, but Proof has died now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was killed, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty awful shit. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think about the one guy who was like helping him sleeping with his girlfriend and like the reaction and all that stuff? Because I think that scene, as realistic as it is, I could get why that scene's hard to watch. And I just kind of wanted to understand what you guys thought.
But I liked it. I thought it was interesting because, you know, it was an interesting kind of arc for him to realize that like not everybody is there to support him. But then also, like, there are people who are, and, like, that sort of sense of betrayal, like, really fueled him in some ways. So I thought that was what made it interesting. And then where he, like, kind of lashes out and, like, seems like he's about to, like, hit, I can't think of her name right now, but Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
That scene is really hard to watch. But also, I kind of appreciate that it doesn't, because when you make a movie about yourself, you kind of want it to show the good things about yourself.
Yeah.
But... So I think it was kind of a good thing that it doesn't shy away from like his mistakes and his violence.
It's insanely honest.
Yeah, I mean, Eminem is kind of a violent person. Yeah. Like notoriously, historically, a violent person.
I mean,
as a result of what the violence shown on him, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I do appreciate that it didn't kind of shy away from that. And I feel like this movie could have been like a very like basic movie. Like it could have been like a very like feel good
MTV movie.
Yeah, very like feel good story of Eminem's rise to fame. And in some ways it is that, but in other ways it's not a feel good story because like at the end also he doesn't become famous or anything. He basically walks away from it and is like, I got to do this my own way. Yeah. Which is a really cool ending. Like the movie didn't have to end that way and it did.
And like, don't forget that this is actually an Oscar-winning film as well.
Yeah,
so,
correct.
It is. Yeah.
You know, you got Just Lose Your, not Just Lose Yourself. What is it called?
Just don't win yourself.
What's
lose yourself though?
Lose yourself. I was thinking of the other one. But he did Lose Yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then he didn't show up to the Oscars because he didn't think he'd win.
Oh.
And he was also told that he wasn't allowed to perform the song. So he didn't show up. And then this last year, when we were watching all the Oscars together, we saw him finally perform it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And we had no idea how significant it was at the time.
Yeah.
We were just like, why is Eminem doing
Yeah,
this
we were
song
just
right
so
now?
confused. We
You
were
guys
like,
were
what's
like
happening?
making fun of him. Like, why is he there?
It just made no sense.
It did feel weird at the time though. It was kind of like, why are you here?
But now that you know,
But it does
it's
make
like,
sense. Yeah.
It's like an acknowledgement.
But yeah, I feel like the movie could have ended with like, you know, he wins this rap battle and then he's like, there's some dude, he's like, hey, I work at this record label. Come.
You cut me off. I just had a little extra bit of the story though.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So do you know why he was there though? Because they had another person they needed to perform their song there that year, and he said he wouldn't go unless this other person got to perform. Do you know who that person is?
Was it
Elton John?
It was Elton John.
It sure was.
Who I believe won Best Song that year as well.
Yeah.
I think so for the song that he wrote with for the film.
For the film, yeah.
I think I can't think of what it's called right now. Still Me or something? Something like that. I don't know. It's good though.
Yeah. They added, Franny, I don't know if you knew this, they added one like new song to the movie so it could be nominated for a best song.
Yeah, like Elton John wrote a song for the movie
that's
was
For
really
what
cool.
movie?
for Rocketman.
For Rocketman.
Oh, really?
There's one song that isn't like a new an old song.
It's like a
no,
new
I
Elton
didn't.
John song.
Wasn't it like
That's
when
cool.
his family was all singing that one, right? In like the kitchen and stuff? and like they were all singing it, like all the family members were singing it.
Oh, like separately.
so.
I liked that scene.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think.
But we're not talking about Rocketman. I just thought
we've
that
moved
was.
on from
I just
that.
thought that was an
really
interesting little
interesting.
tidbit.
That's really cool.
What we were saying about like how
Also-
honest this movie is. I think it's cool how he's made it so honest, even though it is like a fictional retelling. Like it's not.
Right.
I feel like we might have not said that. This movie is a biopic of him in ways, but it's also like a work of fiction too.
Yeah,
Like,
and like
yeah.
I mean, and that's where it kind of differs a lot
Yeah.
from Rocketman, because Rocketman is like this is the Elton John story,
Yeah.
whereas
And also, let me just say that Eminem killed it in this movie. He was.
Oh yeah,
he
he's
acted
a great
really well.
actor.
And it's like Madison said before, like maybe they didn't have to ask that much of him, but I think that they actually kind of did. And I think that after you saw the movie, you saw that more. That they
Yeah.
need to
Yeah,
ask
for
more
sure.
of him. But the thing about his performance, though, is it actually it kind of fucked up his life for a minute. Because while they were shooting this movie, he had a lot of stressors going on with like getting sued and like doing the movie. That's actually when he got addicted to drugs. And during this film, as a result of making this film, and then as people know, his sponsor ended up being Elton John later on. But this movie kickstarted his
like serious drug
pill
issues,
addiction. Yeah. So,
I mean, also, and like Eminem has said that he will never do it again. Like he will never like star in a movie again.
'Cause
He does cameos and stuff every now and again, but he won't. He's like has said that like he'll never do that again.
yeah, he said it was
That's fair.
a bad experience in a lot of ways, but like not because of the movie being bad, but just because
'cause it's
the
stressful.
pressures of what was
Yeah.
happening. You know.
That makes sense. I understand that.
I'm glad he still, like, even with all that in mind, he still gave this movie 110%. Like, this movie
Yeah.
totally rides on his performance, and he does a really great job.
Yeah, and I mean, very like you feel very emotionally connected to this movie. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we want to rate it.
I think we do. I think. It's,
Oh, wait, Michael Shannon was ridiculous in this movie.
Oh, correct. It is worth saying that about
Last
Michael
thing I
Shannon.
wanted
Who does
to
he
say.
play?
He plays the boyfriend of the
boyfriend.
mom.
Oh yeah.
I like the actor who played the mom a lot. She was really good.
She did a good job. Yeah.
It was like really interesting, their like complicated relationship, because it wasn't
Yeah.
like I hate this person, she sucks, she's the worst, because at times it was like a very loving, tender relationship, but also not. And I think that
If you
that's
were-
very accurate to dynamics of like living with a parent like that.
If you were going to cast 8 Mile and you couldn't use the people that were cast, including the Eminem character, like, who's somebody that you like instantly think to cast
Oh
in this
wow.
movie?
Ooh, that's
Oh
hard.
God,
I got
hold on.
mine. I can't remember right now, but the mom from Hereditary should play M's mom.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that would be
1,000%.
good. I'm trying to think of like who my alternate Eminem.
I know
cast
who
is.
they'd fucking pick. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you who they'd pick, but I wouldn't like it, but I know they'd pick this person.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of it. I can't think of anybody that would be really good. It seems hard to like think of.
Who would
They would 1,000% cast Lucas Hedges, by the way.
Oh
Yes.
yes, okay.
They cast him in fucking everything, and he's not even good. He literally isn't good, and he's cast in like everything.
I'm trying to think of like who would be a good like Brittany Murphy alternate.
That's what I was thinking.
Somebody very like wayfish, very like I don't know, sullen.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to do.
Because you're
Maybe I'll
cast,
think of
I
things
think it
later.
should be people that are kind of current. Like, you know what I mean? We
Right.
shouldn't like cast somebody else from that era. We should cast
Right.
somebody
Yeah.
fits it now. I don't know. I mean, who's that one Margot Robbie chick look like? She looks so
Oh
much like
God,
her.
I know. There's so many Margot Robbie lookalikes.
She was in the new Bill and Ted movie. She was in that hide and seek movie, or Ready or Not, or whatever it was
I
called.
don't know. I couldn't help you.
Hold on, I will know in like 2 seconds.
I wish I knew.
I could see like a David Diggs' future.
Samara Weaving.
Yeah, Samara Weaving.
Yeah.
I would 1,000% cast her.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, like, but like, yeah, I was saying like a David
Can you
Diggs'
show me?
future. I could see
Yeah,
that.
She is.
David Diggs' future would be good. They're casting a black Superman right now. Somebody make it David Diggs somehow. Because
I
he'd
love
be the
David
best.
Diggs.
He'd
He
be the
would.
best
Oh
black
my God,
Superman
he is so. That is like
Funny
one
how
of
we
my
circle
celebrity
back to Hamilton with
crushes.
David Diggs too.
What?
Yeah.
We circle back to Hamilton with David
We
Diggs.
do, yeah.
But I really like through Hamilton, cringy enough, but like I discovered his own solo music. It's actually really good.
It is, yeah. It really actually is.
And you
Very
know how
good.
we feel about Blind Spotting. We love that movie.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys have any interesting casting choices you want to mention? How about we each cast? I'd cast the mother. Who do you guys cast for like Marshall Mathers or?
who did we cast for him? I don't know. That's like really hard.
It is hard because
it's
you know
very
what?
hard.
He's an into fucking visual dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
correct.
anybody else tries to be Eminem, it comes off as disingenuous
Right.
because he's just such a rare cocktail of a person.
correct.
I mean, maybe like I don't know. Do you go with somebody who's like bleach blonde too? Like, it's a good question.
Yeah, that would kind of be my like
You just put Michael Cera in there.
Michael Cera. That is the funniest thing Franny's ever said to me.
Moment.
That would be hilarious.
Like they're like now bringing to the stage Bunny Rabbit. He's like, oh geez, that's me.
He's like, so let me tell you. Like, the thing with Michael Cera too, he has that yell that's like, like, come on, man. He has that like one yell he doesn't. He'd be like, let me tell you something about the streets. Like, his voice would be so fucking awful with Eminem. It'd be terrible.
That would be really
That's
upsetting.
like actually the most upsetting casting I've ever heard.
I would love that. That would be amazing.
I would literally not see that.
I just want them to do the movie beat per beat, like the same movie, just have it be Michael Cera.
No, we're replacing this 8 Mile with this new one. You understand?
Yeah,
there will be
yeah.
no Eminem 8 Mile as a result. You're getting Michael Cera.
That's amazing. I don't know. It's really hard
Michael
to think
Cera
of.
and David Diggs are just like, Sweet Home Alabama.
That's so funny.
That's ridiculous.
That's the funniest thing ever. Oh, you know what Bridget was saying? You know Breaking Bad, the guy who plays Badger?
Yeah.
That's our dream Cheddar Bob.
Cheddar
Same.
Bob.
Yes, I couldn't
You
think
make
of
the guy from Breaking Bad, Eminem.
Oh my God, Aaron Paul.
Yeah, there
Aaron
you go.
Paul's a good
There you go.
answer.
Aaron Paul
Yeah.
would be a great
There you
Eminem.
go.
Badger, Aaron Paul, and they make Skinny Pete just in there as well.
Throw Skinny Pete in it.
It's a connected universe, guys.
Fuck it. Bryan Cranston plays the stepdad, like his mom's boyfriend. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
No, he plays the guy who works at the metal factory that has
Yes.
3 lines, his boss. That's Bryan Cranston.
I was gonna say Bryan Cranston could be Elton John if we do a later in life situation.
John just like comes into this dream 8 Mile. This 8 Mile.
Is it a dream or a nightmare?
It's both somehow.
I mean,
Michael Cera, it's a nightmare.
He's seeing M Freestyle. I was like, now that is a pinball wizard.
Oh my God. Guys, the thumbnail. Michael Cera's head on Eminem's body.
Yes.
Yes.
I hate that. I hate that.
Jesus Christ.
Michael Cera also had a drug problem, so at least there's that connection.
You know, I didn't know that about Michael
I
Cera because
also
it looks like
didn't-
he's done nothing for all of his life.
Did you know that like
Yeah.
he had like a small drug problem, but they memed on it in that This Is the End movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they had him like doing because somebody wrote like a Hollywood Reporter article where like, and Michael Cera's actually a lot darker than you think, and so they like made fun of that in the movie and made him like this cocaine addict. And
That's amazing.
have you ever seen it?
I have seen it. I just didn't know that he actually had a drug problem.
Yeah, he had like a small drug problem, like nothing in comparison to what that movie made, but
That's funny.
it was like one Hollywood Reporter article was like, we saw him smoking a joint or whatever it was
Smoking a joint.
Amazing.
because he was the Juno kid at the time.
I would love to smoke a joint with Michael Cera. Michael Cera, if you're listening.
like that scene in Superbad. Sing for us, Michael.
Yeah.
Talking hot. Okay.
Yeah, should we rate it?
We should definitely review Superbad at some point. Yeah, let's rate it.
I would give this an 8.5 out of 10.
I'd say 8.5 out of 10. Yeah.
I give it an 8 out of 10.
Like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, pretty solid.
I wanted to say 9, but there is some issues with it. Like, you know, sometimes you're asking a lot of Eminem, and like he is genuine and he's good, but there are scenes where you're just expecting a little bit more out of him just
Yeah.
because of the situation. But he isn't a trained actor, so that's why I just can't give it like higher than it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me there are
makes
like
sense.
some like pacing things where I feel like it gets a little bit slow. Like, I don't know. I think we spent a little too much time at that factory for reasons I don't quite understand.
Now, when Franny first saw the sex scene, she thought it was the sexiest thing ever. What did you guys think
my
of that
God.
sex scene?
Oh
in
my
the
God. It
factory?
felt like it felt
like a
too,
porn. Like it was like really, really like
it felt
visceral.
Eminem is
Too
so hot in
much.
this movie. I do not like skinny white guys, okay?
Yeah, me
But
neither.
like Eminem, I like it.
like,
What? Why are
That
you
was
looking
just
offended?
so-
Like you're a scrawny white man. Like
just-
you're
You're not
not.
a
Like, I'm
scrawny
not-
white
I mean, you're
man.
white, but you're not scrawny.
I'm not hitting a diet. I'm scared to hit a diet now. I'm worried.
No, I don't like the scrawny look. Like when you can see like the shoulders
I
and
don't think you
everything
have to
on a
worry about
man.
that with me.
Like
Yeah, no, it felt like it was like a little intense. It was a little much for me.
Yeah.
Also, there's nothing I'd rather do less than like fuck in a factory.
But
full
that's
of
my
oil
point. Is
and
like that's
machinery.
another thing that keeps it at 8.5 for me. That
Hot.
sex scene to me is uncomfortable.
It's too much. It's like
It's
you know
so
that sex
uncomfortable.
scene, 10 out of 10.
it feels like a
it
porn.
just
Like,
makes
it's
me
like
feel-
really weird.
I know it's too much, but
it makes
I love
me
it.
feel gross. Like I'm like,
And again, like factories are like notoriously dirty and like the machinery and like that is not the ambiance with which I want to like get down.
I'm sorry, but you're
That's
the one
part
who
of
said
it.
you wanted to fuck a robot, so I'm a little confused.
What do you mean? That's totally different.
You said machinery.
because it's like all loud and shit. Because
You
like
think that a sex robot's gonna be like like silent.
It's not a sex robot, and it never has been.
I mean, if you have sex with it and it's a robot, it's a fucking sex robot.
But that's not its purpose.
It's, you know what?
We can't talk about it again.
We can't talk about it. If you want to hear more about that,
watch the other head. Watch. I don't even know what episode that happened.
We have a clip of it. Just go to our
clip
clips section. Listen to. I think it's Robots, Demons. Wait, it's Robots, Ghosts, and Demons.
Yeah.
Love story.
Yes.
That's a good clip.
Okay.
Like it.
It is a great clip.
Okay. Do we have like a drum roll or something?
We should, because it's going to be a lot.
Hold on. Actually, Lily might have a drum roll. Hold on.
Was it a drum roll? I don't know. I don't have headphones on.
It's kind of a drum roll.
I don't understand how it
Eminem's
can be kind
of. Guys.
Rap.
Guys.
We have to tell you something.
I believe I believe with 100% certain that Eminem is at minimum a bisexual man.
I strongly agree. I fully believe this.
Okay.
I have to agree as well.
I think we've been talking about this for literal weeks. Like, this group of people has been talking about it for
been leaving those gay breadcrumbs.
Let me take you back. Let me take you back to 2010, I believe. I'm in my music history class. I have a gay music history class teacher. Sorry to out you on the podcast, but it was very obvious to everyone. But just being honest, because this was the situation. And I was in a music class with like so many douchebags. Not afraid to say that if you're out there listening. You were awful. And they basically like gave this teacher shit all the time. Like wrote on like his smartboard and Sharpie, got on his computer, called him a farg and stuff like that. Gay slurs all around. And they were super into Eminem. And I was thinking, what could really fuck with them if I write for my, because we're supposed to write about a musician and an uncovered side of their artistry. That was the assignment. Write about a musician and then talk about something they don't talk about enough with this musician. And I decided, Slim Shady seems gay. I'm going to do a report on how Eminem's gay. And then I went in and I did my research. And it turned out to not be a meme at all. It's very real. So where should we even start? Do we talk about the unreleased song he did with Joyner Lucas?
I think I will say for me, like, we were kind of just talking about people being homophobic in general. And we were like, it's always the loudest homophobes who are secretly gay. And for some reason, I guess we've just been talking about Eminem lately.
And I told, well, no, this is what actually happened. We were talking about Eminem. And that was a part of it. But then at a later point, I was like, like you were like, I don't like Eminem. Like, but Eminem's gay. And you went, pause. And I was like, listen to these reasons. And so he always talks about his alter ego Slim Shady, which is basically, if you know Eminem, he's obsessed with comic books. He loves like Thor and Marvel and all that shit. And he came up after his first like thing, Marshall Mathers, whatever, his EP didn't kick off. He thought he was going to create an alter ego that was brave enough to say the things that he didn't want to say, or that he couldn't say.
And that alter ego is incredibly homosexual.
Very much always talking about things like Dr. Dre and I have been having sex with hats off, which, like, I get that he's trying to be, like, self-deprecating and make jokes about himself, but everything's always in the tone of, I'm gay.
Right.
I'm gay.
Like, there's that lyric about, I'll bisexually wreck ya.
Yeah.
And shit. But like for me though, what like my really turning
point. Someone Google
point,
gay Eminem quotes.
My like real turning point here was we were sitting talking about Eminem being gay and like very much agreeing, and we were like scrolling through YouTube, and then I was like, holy shit, Eminem has a song called Cleaning Out My Closet.
Oh, yeah.
And that really just broke the floodgates open.
And like, it's not even that simple. Like, I know that sounds like we're like marginalizing it, but if you listen to the lyrics
and you watch that music video,
you're like, have you ever been?
The first line of that song, have you ever been hated, discriminated against? I have. And then in the video, and then it talks about people protesting him for being hateful because like they think about his hateful lyrics. But then you watch the video and it's very much like these like Westboro Baptist Church-esque protesters. Mm-hmm. And the video is like so much. Like I implore all of you to, if you get nothing else from this podcast and you're like, fuck you, Eminem's not gay, just watch the Cleaning Out My Closet video and consider it for a minute. Because why does so much of this video have to take place in a church? I just want somebody to explain it to me because it doesn't make sense.
Everybody is in such denial that Eminem is gay that when you try to search like quotes of Eminem being gay, just nothing comes up.
And the thing about it is that Eminem says it like all the time.
He does.
It's like he makes jokes about it all the time.
Hi. Sorry for that stark pause right there. We had a tragedy.
Yeah, something happened.
Something sure happened, all right.
So, I don't know, should we say, like...
Basically, Franny forgot to plug the Roadcaster back in, so we did about an hour of gay Eminem talk.
It was not an hour.
It was like 20 minutes of gay Eminem
It
talk.
actually was more than 20 minutes, but we don't have to get into how long it was. That's fine.
But regardless, we kind of... We were delivering the thesis, and then... It was what? Okay, it was 30 minutes, whatever. But with the thesis is being delivered, upon which we realized that the Roadcaster was not plugged in, and then we had a little meltdown, and so we're just going to do it all again, baby. So if it sounds a little weird, it's because it's take 2.
Gay article proof number 1.
No, I like this method. This is good. I like it.
We Ain't by The Game, featuring 50 Cent and Eminem. Now, there's something you gotta understand about The Game, 50 Cent, Eminem, and all that stuff. On top of being probably the gayest rappers I've ever come across in my research, they're always like grouping together and are kind of seeing like the same class of rapper where like they're always collaborating. And Eminem had a really interesting lyric from that song, and basically the song was about how they're different from everybody, how they're individuals and they're not like other people. Like, we ain't like you, we're better.
We ain't like you, we're better. Yeah. And so here's the lyric. I will read it to you now since Logan's tired of reading lyrics. Eminem's verse begins, "Only Dre can judge me for the mistakes I'm making. If I'm faking, I guess it should be I'm making. If I'm faking, I'm Clay Aiken. You ain't 50 and you ain't game. You lame, you're tame. Bitch, you're mild sauce. You ain't ready to make that flame switch."
Oh, shit. That's gay.
Like,
It's
Clay
gay.
Aiken? Notoriously closeted homosexual gay man Clay Aiken,
You
American
ain't ready
Idol.
to make that flame?
I was just about to say
Right.
the flame switch.
The flame?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So gay.
Yeah. Just a little article for you. And then if you look at the other 2 rappers in the song, before we even get into like Eminem's gay, if you look at The Game, he recently has come under some criticism and or people
Speculation,
theorizing.
I guess,
Yeah.
is probably the right.
Yeah, well, some criticism too on account of like how he's been
Well-
about people who are gay in the past.
Well, yeah.
You know, a bunch of people found out he was on his regular Instagram. He was supposed to be on his altar, and he was
It's like
liking
Finsta.
The Finsta.
Yeah.
I love when this happens. I love that this is like a phenomenon where people have like their like forget to switch accounts, and it's always the homophobes too.
Yeah.
Who like forget to switch accounts and then are like straight up liking and retweeting gay
they
porn.
like booty hole porn and shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that one guy, what's his face?
Yeah, that one like super homophobic like
Yeah, the
religious
alpha
radio
male,
host.
beta
Jesse
male.
something, right?
Jesse, no.
Wait, which one was the guy who talked about drinking cum? Is that the same one or is that a
Oh
different
no,
one?
that's a different kind of milk. There's this preacher online. He is straight, he claims, but he says that there's healing powers and a deliciousness to drinking human cum. He would do great on Fear Factor. Anyway,
He sure would.
moving on.
Or with Eminem.
Oh God.
See, aren't you glad we had to start over because we never could have
that joke's
captured
still
that
not worth it.
moment?
She's got to work a lot harder. It's got to be better than just that one joke.
Well, there will be
I'm cooking
more.
them up.
Yeah. So
They're slow roasting.
let's talk about 50 Cent.
Let's.
You know, Madison's mom is a big fan.
She is. Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
He's always been awful at airports, but especially ours.
Oh really?
Oh, did you not
Oh
hear what
yeah.
happened?
So
No.
there's a special needs kid that I went to school with, and he was working at the air. Well, Logan and I both went to school with. He was working at the airport, and 50 Cent like got in his face with like his phone, like videoing, like accusing him of being high, and like doing a big spiel about like how being high at work and like shit like that is wrong, and like saying shit about our generation and stuff. But like that kid's just special needs and looks that way, and like
So
wasn't
let it be
answering.
clear, guys.
Yeah.
Even though I adore the fact that Eminem is actually gay, I do not adore. Sorry, 50 Cent is actually gay. I do not adore 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Straight up. Here's a quote from 50 Cent when he was
This is
asked
my
about
favorite quote.
legalizing gay marriage in 2011. The first quote goes, before he's interrupted, "If everyone else is for it, then hey, to each his own." He also specifies that gay is male oriented by saying
Correct.
his own. "I don't have personal feelings towards it because I'm not involved in that lifestyle," said the man fighting the fact that he's gay. Because that sentence, like if you're asked, if you're like, okay, let's say somebody approached you and said, "What do you think about building this bridge over like on the other side of town?" like you don't have to refute the fact that you've never driven a bridge and never could see a bridge in order to
or like aren't going to be involved in that side of the town.
Like it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to like when you ask somebody but they think of gay marriage, you're not being like, what do you think about you getting into a gay marriage? It's not a sales pitch, my dude.
like why do you feel the need to clarify that that's not the lifestyle you're involved in?
But this second quote, it really spices my buns.
I love this quote.
So he said then, so in process, we need organizations for straight men. We do. We need organizations for straight men in the case you've been on the elevator and somebody decides they want to grab your little buns.
Wait,
Little
who
buns.
said this? Did Eminem say this? Or
50 Cent.
Okay.
Also, I love
He's referring to his buns.
I love the way 50 Cent talks. It's just
your little
incoherent.
buns.
It
I
is
love
like
the specificity of this situation. Like you're specifically on an elevator and a man specifically grabs your little buns. Like this sounds like it's something that 50 Cent has thought about a lot about. Like you know,
He's
we need
manifesting it.
we need an organization
and grabs my buns.
We need an organization for straight men, because what if you're in line at the coffee shop and the barista makes eye contact with you and then he puts extra whipped cream on top of your coffee and then he slips you his number and now it's like this whole thing that you have. Like what if that happens? You know, it's like a very specific situation that you've been thinking
also
about.
like the adjectives, you know, little buns.
Little buns.
Also,
never have I heard a straight man refer to
the
his ass as
superlative,
little
of
buns.
my ass is they're little buns.
Like, why are you
Do you call
specifying
it your little buns?
Do I? Maybe
Yeah.
if it's hot outside and I like sit in like a hot
My
car
little
seat, I'm like, my
buns.
little buns.
Oh.
Other than that, probably not.
Yeah,
like,
you're
I'm definitely not worried about other men grabbing me, and I'm definitely not worried about calling that grabbing my little buns.
And then like it would be one thing if he just said buns, but why do you got to specify their size?
But this,
Like, why do you want everybody to know that you got perky little buns?
but the same-sex theory thickens right now, because at one point during Empire season 2 or so, he commented the show wasn't doing as well because it was two gays this season. To which Vivica Fox, a member on the show, but also ex-serious girlfriend, I think,
they were together for a really long time.
She said, well, that's like the kettle calling the pot black.
Really makes you think.
And then she said, I'm not trying to start anything or go out of, like, she said something along the lines like, I'm not like talking shit. Just look at his freshman double XL cover where he's basically butt fucking Soulja Boy on the cover.
It's like really intensely gay. It looks like a gay porn magazine.
It like it's not comfortable. It looks like
I screamed when I saw it. I was like laughing so hard.
at first you're like, oh my god, is this a hostage video? And then you're like, no, it's a gay porn.
It
by the way they
does
look.
seem like a hostage situation turned into like a gay porn, like somebody's being held at gunpoint.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm
And
never
then-
letting you go, and the other guy's like, okay. That's exactly what it's like.
Oh my
Or
god.
it's like, please
Okay.
let me go. There's got to be something I can do.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Okay.
It's like, it's just really weird. It's just a really weird cover.
And like Soulja Boy, like I don't really have any theories about him, but like that is like the smallest, gayest rapper he could butt fuck on the cover.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he picked like
Like, you know, he's trying to crank that.
yeah. He's trying to that Soulja
Nice.
Boy indeed. He's going to Superman that hoe. Anyway,
Yeah.
is there any other song by Soulja Boy?
Yeah. Kiss me through the phone, dude.
Oh yeah, you know he sells video game systems. That's not the point. We're going off the track. It's insane. He sells like bootleg video game systems, and they're called Soulja Boys.
Yeah.
What?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I hate it.
He like streams video games sometimes too, right? I
Yeah.
feel like I saw him
There's a
stream-
great video. There's an amazing video where like he's streaming and you don't know the context yet because it starts after whatever happened. He gets a message while he's streaming and it's like, "Can you turn your music down?" He's like, "I ain't turning my music down. This is my fucking house." And then you hear the next song start and it actually shakes the fucking desk.
That's amazing.
That's the greatest video ever.
Wait, I think if I'm remembering this correctly, that I think it's Soulja Boy. I have to look it up. But one of the podcasts I listened to, they talk about how like I think he lives in their apartment complex,
Oh, that's crazy.
like in their building.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
I wish
So
I
anyway,
lived in
away
Soulja
from
Boy.
Soulja Boy though. But
Oh, but the game. Like, what's gay about the game? Though?
all right. And then the game, on top of the fact that his most famous song talks about how his mother has a lesbian experience in front of him.
oh
Yeah,
wow.
my mom was kissing a woman and I was confused, bruh. And then to top it off, he Did I already say the alt account thing? Did I already say that?
Oh yeah, we did.
We went through all this already.
Shit.
Yeah, no problem.
But did we talk about how he used to work in a gay strip club?
The game, recently, it was found out that he used to work at a strip club, and there's speculation, because he's never given the strip club by name, that it was a gay strip club. There's a lot of hard evidence.
And so what we've like come to realize through this is that so many rappers are gay.
As Fat Joe put it before his career dropped off the planet after this interview, he believes that rap is run by the gay mafia.
Yes.
Amazing.
Do you hear what I'm saying
right
now? Do you hear what I'm saying right now? Okay. First of all, I don't think we talked about the Elton John connection at all, and I want to mention that.
That's important.
On top of like the whole thing with Elton,
I think we did talk.
No, but I didn't talk about this next part where.
Okay.
The reason why Elton and Eminem kind of came to know each other was Eminem was getting a lot of flack in the media about having homophobic slurs in his songs, right? So Elton's like, that's fucked up because like I'm big gay, and so Elton, I hope nobody soundbites that.
That's fucked up. I'm big gay.
Yeah, but anyway, Elton talks to him, and he's like. Basically, he went in with the idea of, I'm going to have Eminem stop using homophobic slurs because I think he's a genius and he shouldn't be doing that. And then it came out with, it's okay that he says that.
And I think what he said is like, the idea of Eminem being homophobic is ridiculous.
Yeah, the idea of Eminem being homophobic is ridiculous and out of the question.
But like, why is it ridiculous and why is it out of the question?
Is because Elton got a piece of info. Okay.
The rest of us don't have.
Yeah. A big piece of info.
Like, do I think Eminem and Elton John fucked? Maybe a little.
Maybe, because here's the thing: they're both admitted sex and drug addicts. I mean, you put two people like that together,
right?
And they're both, who knows? And also, it's like a mentorship too. Like maybe Eminem would want to fuck Elton John. It's Elton John.
Yeah, I mean,
if he's gay, he might want to fuck Elton John. That's an incredible.
Honestly, who among us wouldn't want to fuck Elton John?
Probably me, because that sounds scary. But
I feel like
that's the penultimate if you're gay.
Yeah,
I would never be with someone that diva level.
Yeah, that does seem like
too much. It's like being with Mariah Carey.
Mention this.
Eminem learned from that too.
I didn't mention this at the time, but one of my favorite things about Rocketman, not to like go back to it too much, but was the visual confirmation that Elton John is bottom. Like we've all known, but like it still was nice to know, like for sure.
Shocking.
Yeah, we're surprised.
But anyway, yeah. So
yeah, rap is gay.
So here's the thing.
Insane.
There's a little unreleased song that kind of like sparked a little bit of this as far as like conversationally for us.
Yeah.
And it's unreleased and it's by
Joyner Lucas.
By Joyner Lucas. Now at the time, understand that Joyner was like coming up. He wasn't like the big deal he was. I'm Not Racist had only dropped a little bit before then, which like totally blew him up. And they were planning on having a big collaboration, right? So it was going to go from Lucky You, which is about being different from everybody else in the rap game and like being an individual. Just throwing that out there. Leading into a song called What If I Was Gay?
And I think it's important to talk about a little bit about Joyner Lucas because this is a rabbit hole I've fallen down, I think, with you guys. First thing's the Will Smith song.
Yeah, and if you don't know this about Will Smith, if there's any previous rapper you could assume is gay, Will Smith, I think, is full blown gay.
I think people have thought that for a long time.
And there's a couple of reasons why. The big reason I always look at is he treats everything corporately, kind of like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton have their marriage for like status. Him and Jada are kind of like that for Hollywood, where they have, the two famous children. They always forget about Will Smith's older son. They just don't talk about that guy.
Wait, what? There's an older son?
Wait, hold on, what?
That's funny.
He has 3 kids.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I guess he's just a failure.
Is the oldest one with Jada, or is that with a different?
With his first wife.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
But also it doesn't though.
Well, no, I know, but I was like, that seems weird. Well, no, the reason it was weird to me is because his other kids are named Willow and Jaden, and so it's like, fuck that first one, right? But it's with a different person, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But and also, they just turned out 2 very like strange, weird kids, but weird gay kids.
There's also the lyric in that song you're talking about where he is like talking about like wanting to settle down and everything. Joyner.
Yeah.
He's like, none of these hoes remind me of Jada.
which is like kind of like.
I mean, if you're saying it's a corporate thing,
I need a real beard, right? And yeah,
exactly.
And here's the thing. So with Will, like the way his marriage works, the way he was okay with that other rapper just fucking his wife and it had no emotional effect on him, is simply because this is a business decision.
Yeah,
he was upset from the business point of view because they are like
bad PR.
They're like a royal family in a sense in our like pop cultureism. Like people love that whole family and like obsess over those people in that family. Mm-hmm. And that's because it's a calculated family.
Yeah. Will and Jada is like such a like deeply entrenched culturally beard relationship, and I have so many thoughts.
It really
about it.
feels like how like Hillary's a lesbian and is with Bill for the reasons of
Right.
becoming the president.
Yeah.
I really feel like Will's just trying to become the ultimate man.
Like the ultimate man.
The movie star, the musician, the producer,
the everything.
The TV show.
That's what he's going
star.
for. TV show, YouTube star. He won't even leave YouTube alone. Get off our platform. Anyway,
Is he on
Get outta
TikTok as well? I feel like that's something.
Yeah, I think he is on TikTok a little bit.
he's probably on everything.
I think I've seen his TikToks.
I feel like I've seen
the
his
only thing he
TikToks
wasn't
too.
on was The Matrix because he's dumb. But
The Matrix is so gay too.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
that's why
really
I turned it down.
might be.
He was like, it'll blow my
Bad reps.
cover.
But yeah. So
And then I want to talk about too the other thing that you have mentioned about Joyner Lucas.
yeah, I was gonna mention like which thing.
Wow.
the little Nas. What's up?
So I just found an article that says Will and Jada Pinkett no longer call themselves husband and wife, and then it says later they call themselves life partners.
That's a classically gay term too.
Yeah.
There's nothing gayer than being like my partner.
That article came out in 2020.
Amazing. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Joyner Lil Nas X connection too. You know a little more about that than I do.
I haven't substantial. Let's just know that when we say this, it's not backed by anything super substantial.
This is just a hunch.
It's a hunch. It's a hunch. So there's a couple of things. So there is like a small rumor, which yet again I cannot back up, that Joyner and Lil Nas X had a little thing going on, and then all of a sudden, Lil Nas X came out. As you know, he came out like after Old Town Road, but before the new Montero song came out.
I mean, we've been new, but he did.
But he did come out like actually. And then he writes a song. It's basically about another celebrity who hasn't come out, and that's Montero.
Yeah.
And then he talks about the times he had with him and how it's been great and everything. And then he twerks on the devil. And if you know anything about Joyner, one of his most popular songs is called Devil's Work.
Gay.
Gay.
There's just something going on there because they were like really close, and then now they're not too.
Yeah.
They like had a falling out.
Yeah. In fact, Joyner even criticized the song, saying that it's like in bad taste, which seems weird to do. unless
Yeah.
you have
Yeah, it
something
seems like a
personal
weird
tied to
move
it.
for him.
Like that definitely feels like an emotional
Now,
response to me.
right.
I got no proof. That could totally be total bullshit, but it is just something interesting.
But with all of that context, now the song "What If I Was Gay."
Well, also too, the way he idolized Will in the song "Will" about
Right,
Will Smith,
right.
saying he wanted his exact career, he wanted to have kids just like he did. It all seems very much like I'm gay, but I want to be the kind of gay Will Smith is, where he has like a legitimate career.
Right, where he has it all. Yeah,
Is that picking up?
No,
Cool.
there are very loud trucks outside.
It's like insanely loud.
maybe like one hinge of it, but not the whole thing.
but that's okay. It is
Cool.
what it is.
Sorry about that if you could hear it, but you know.
What if I was gay? Go ahead.
Yeah, what if I was gay? So this is a song that was never released, but it was leaked, and it was like you said, the follow up to another song, a collaboration between Eminem and Joyner Lucas, and the song was leaked, and then it never got put out. And when we were watching it, the video that we watched like literally had 30,000 views, like nothing.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
And it had Turkish subtitles. So that should tell you about like how much this song is known. And it's crazy because when the song came out, if people talked about it, the way that they talked about it was like, they're just making a point. Like you could never be gay.
Yeah.
Joe Budden, world's worst music critic, was saying things along the lines of like, they're just doing this to be of the woke point of view, so they could be rapping about how it's okay to be gay while gay people walk up on stage. Joe, you're wrong again. You have to be a moron to listen to this song and
Right.
think that there's nothing genuine about it. Even if Joyner's
Right.
not gay, the twist at the end with Eminem is like irrefutable to me because he's playing the perspective of the homophobe, and then at the end essentially being like, what if I was
so like
fucking gay?
the story of M's verse, I just called him M. That makes me really upset. The story of Eminem's verse is that it's like his friend Joyner coming out to him and him being like anti, all that. So I can
Go, just read the last couple of lyrics
I can give you
after
the last
he's
couple
like,
lyrics. So the idea is that like, a friend told him that he was gay, and then Eminem didn't support that friend, and that friend killed himself. And so he says, I ain't mean for that shit to happen. I said I won't cry. I let the best friend I've ever known die. Alone. Was gonna tell you the next day. I'm so sorry. I'm fighting my own demons. I won't lie. They won't leave me alone, eating at my soul this whole time. I've been tortured, imprisoned in my own mind. A born-again Christian, but Lord, if you're listening, we might be headed for a collision. Because when I told my boy I couldn't support his decision, I was trying to make it seem like a choice when it isn't. Can't be cured with a prayer to St. Jude. What if I told you my wish never came true? What if I'm a hypocrite who's afraid to just face truth? Wait. What if I told you I'm gay too?
Mic drop.
Those are Eminem's
Goosebumps.
lyrics, and that's the end of the song. Like, that's where the song ends.
And I just feel like the amount of times he's said shit like this.
And so, like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it goes back to Dr. Dre, right? Like, there's so many lyrics in his past where he's praising Dr. Dre. Did you already talk about the...
That was before we had to start over. So, yeah, I want to talk about I Need a Doctor a little bit. This song was, like, very pivotal in my childhood for whatever reason. I just remember, like, my brother loved this song, weirdly enough. My brother's not gay, but he loved this song. At least I don't think my brother's gay.
Hey, I love Eminem, too, and I'm not gay. Just
No,
because
I know, but, like...
Continue talking.
are you saying?
I was trying to make a private
no.
joke to you.
No!
I was trying to make
didn't
a
do
private joke
anything.
to. I was trying to make a private joke to him.
We're having a little insider moment. It's fine.
Anyways, continue.
Dude, whatever Menounos is about to come out and explain this little insider edition. Remember
Maria Menounos?
Yeah.
I love a Maria Menounos. You know, it makes me feel a little twinge inside when I, like, especially during quarantine when I go to the gas station and she's on
Yes,
gas station TV.
yeah.
It's like, yes, it's just like being at the Cinemark. Because she's always there in the event that I ever make it to a movie on time, which happens less and less anymore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
not surprised.
If in the event I make it anywhere on time. But no, like, it's very much like a love song to Dr. Dre. Like, I had the lyrics pulled up a minute ago, but I lost it, so hold on. But yeah, it's like very like, and then the like chorus, the like, I need a doctor to bring me back to life, you know, that shit.
Oh yeah.
But hold
Yeah,
on.
that song's gay.
I've heard the song, yeah.
I'm filling space because I'm trying to find the lyrics here.
Okay, so
But yeah, he says, I don't know if I was awake or asleep when I wrote this. All I know is you came to me when I was at my lowest. You picked me up, breathed new life in me. I owe my life to you. But for the life of me, I don't see why you don't see like I do. Gay.
Gay.
and understand
Gay!
there's so many lyrics where he makes jokes about having sex with Dr. Dre. He's like, me and Dre have been fucking with hats off. And then here's the thing. It's really actually hard to find anything related to like any sort of like Dr. Dre's gay anything. But there is one song. Hold on, let me pull it up real fast.
It's just the world's refusal to believe that they're gay.
like,
But here's the thing.
Right.
This one isn't really one that's talked about a lot. Like, this is like
None of this is talked about a lot, but this is like super underground tidbits here.
So Tupac said about Dr. Dre.
This is in a song he wrote, right? Like,
Yes, this is in one of the verses. He says, "No longer Dr. Dre, arrivederci, blown and forgotten, rotten for plotting child's play. Check your sexuality as fruity as this Elise."
Like somebody wrote this as a diss to him.
Kind of.
correct?
And here's the thing.
I mean, this whole song was kind of like Tupac dissing a bunch of rappers, right? Like, that was
yeah,
the idea of
Tupac
it.
dissed. Basically, what he said was it's not even about dissing. He just was speaking truths. That's how he put it. He's like, this is a song about me speaking truths. So he said that about Dr. Dre. And then the only other evidence I got was, well, first of all, I think you understand with the lyrics that there's also an insinuation of child molestation.
Yeah.
Which is like, ew and yikes.
Which is fucked up and scary. But also, when Suge Knight was asked about, famous Suge Knight, not the one,
Not the two
not
children
those,
that we
not the
know?
twins.
not those
Suge
two
Knight.
children, that one prisoner, Suge Knight.
Suge Knight. I remember when Logan asked me if I knew who Suge Knight was. I was
Like-
like, I'm not that white, dude. I know who
Like
Suge
somebody
Knight is.
calls child services and just says the kids' names are Suge and Knight, and they're just like, say no more.
I think that'd be like Knight and Suge, just like
Knight and
switch
Suge.
Knight and Suge. Like, oh, those your dogs? Like, no.
Those would be good names for dogs.
Yeah, Knight and Suge.
Yeah,
especially
Suge
if
and
you
Knight.
don't say Suge Knight, you always say Knight and Suge, and people don't get it.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so they asked Suge Knight, not Suge and Knight. They asked Suge Knight,
Mr. Knight, if
what
you
do
will.
you think about Eminem? And he said something along the lines like, "I'm glad Dre finally has a kid he's allowed to play with."
Yikes.
Something along those lines.
That's
Yikes,
really gross.
but also gay.
And understand that, like, in music videos, like, Eminem's always Dr. Dre's Robin to his Batman.
Yes, and then like and then I keep going back to the cleaning out my closet video because it means a lot to me right now. But like Dr. Dre is like weirdly in that video for no reason. I don't quite understand. As
he's, by the way, very epically digging a grave outside in the rain, which was pretty dope, actually. I think that video is actually really good.
That video is really good, and it says a lot. Like there are scenes where he's like hiding in the closet for fear of his mother, and like yes, that's like a literal thing, but then also,
you know.
Yeah, and then there's a scene. He talks about his mom having like Munchausen's by proxy or whatever it is, which like she very well may, and
she did. Yeah, it's verified. But
at the
same time, it's a double entendre for what he says
because he talks about her making him believe that he was sick when he wasn't. And
and you didn't even what is the narrative? Did you mention the opening lyrics on this one? Like,
I don't know if I did. Yeah, I did. I did that already. But but again, the opening lyrics of like, have you ever been hated, discriminated against? I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's like it's very clearly,
and it's like love is love, like or something like that. Like that's on the fucking in the music video, right? Like on the fucking
sign. And then so much of that video, I think I said this already, but so much of that video takes place in a church.
It really does.
Why these religious themes, if not to talk about your sexuality?
It's the same thing as in like the "What If I Was Gay" song. He talks about like him trying to repress it through religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
But and there's a lot more, like, it really does feel like, well, let's talk about why rap is gay.
Yes, let's.
No, like, genuinely. There's okay, when you're constantly like picked on as a kid, maybe for being different, maybe for being gay, as you get older, you build up a bravado to defend yourself.
Yeah, like a machismo, like a very tough exterior.
And a lot of the times, the most machismo people, the most homophobic people are the ones who are gay.
Yeah.
There is a natural I'm fighting everybody off aspect to rap. I'm against everyone.
Right.
And also, there is like a weird thing about a rap battle that's like oddly kind of sexual, where like you're going back and forth
and getting in each other's faces.
And there's an animalistic nature to it of yelling in the other one's face.
And you're in like a sweaty basement somewhere.
With nothing but dudes.
Yeah.
Gay.
It's weird. It's gay.
All wearing wife beaters.
Oh, and then I don't know if I mentioned this.
Hoodies.
I don't know. Did I mention this on this one? But like something that's really interesting to me about 8 Mile is that a pivotal moment in the movie, like a turning point for Eminem, is him at his workplace with the help of his lesbian comrade, as you said earlier, coming to the defense of this gay man who works there and like defending him against these like assholes, basically. And it's like, why does that need to be included in the movie? Why is that so important to the story? Well, you know.
Yeah.
And there's been so many rappers like Logic and everybody else who have come out and said things like, you know, there are gay rappers in the community. You just need to accept that, like, somebody, like, and there's people who are your favorite rappers that are actually gay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like that's just an admission that there are closeted, like, for us to say that there are gay rappers, you guys will like, no, that's out of nowhere. But the fact that all the other people in rap say there is a subgroup of closeted rappers, you do kind of wonder why there's so much gay related content with rappers like Eminem.
Yeah, and like so, and like something that we've been talking about a lot too. We've also been talking about rappers that we think aren't gay, because we're like, so many rappers are gay. Like, what rappers are not gay? And like one we keep coming back to is Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg's not gay.
And the thing about it is that it's that thing where if you are not gay, you don't feel the need to talk about it all the time. You just don't. Like, you don't feel the need to be so concerned about what gay people are doing and who else is gay and saying that I'm not gay. Because if you're confident and secure in it, you don't need to talk about it. You don't need to discuss it.
Yeah.
And like Snoop Dogg is the epitome of a dude who, not only about the gay thing, but just like who's so like gangster and so hard that he doesn't need to discuss it.
Absolutely.
Like, he can just like hang out with Martha Stewart and write cookbooks, but I still know that he could fuck me up at any moment if he needed to.
He can fucking kill you.
Right. But that's just who he is. Like, it's fine.
Or somebody like, if you go more like trappy, like somebody like 2 Chainz, like 2 Chainz isn't gay.
Or I know we were saying like Little Dicky, even though he doesn't have, like, you said it best, like the bravado of like a normal.
But that's the thing is like there is just such an obvious like hidden homosexuality to rap, and it's crazy.
because the bravado is a shield, and like if you're not gay, you don't need it.
And not to be Sean Hannity here, but in prison, I know they bring this up on Fox News all the time. In prison, the way you show another dude that you're down is you sag your pants and like show your boxers. That way they know you're down to get fucked. And that's an entire thing that rap culture has adopted and sagging their jeans.
Yeah, there's just like there's something gay about rap culture.
I know that sounds like Tucker Carlson said it, but it is true.
Wait, we need to pay attention. Does Snoop Dogg sag his pants?
I don't even know. I don't think
he probably does. I mean,
he probably does, but I don't think that makes
pictures.
him gay.
You think Snoop Dogg's walking around like Pomona?
No,
like,
but I'm just
full
hoping.
Pants up,
I just want to see like
wearing them up to his nipples and shit.
That's so funny.
No, what if we just haven't been paying attention and it's only the secretly gay rappers that are sagging their
that
pants?
would break it all open. That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many gay rappers.
Yeah,
but
it's just like
the thing is like Eminem has been sprinkling this in forever. For instance, the dating app situation. We haven't talked about that on this.
Oh no,
right,
correct.
yeah. So I was looking it up, and he was being interviewed, and he joked that he uses Tinder and Grindr
to meet people
To
and
meet
strip
people.
clubs, which is also gay somehow.
Yeah, and strip clubs.
And like, and then his team had to like, it kind of became a story. Like Eminem doesn't know what the story. Also, when I saw it phrased, I kind of remember this coming out. Like Eminem doesn't know what Grindr is. Like that was the way that the story was put
The
out.
world's refusal to see him as
Right.
gay.
It's like the mental gymnastics
Like-
that you have to do.
Like, if we stood outside and said Eminem is gay loud enough, we could incite a riot out in the fucking
in this trailer
Midwest.
park.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we
Right.
really could, yeah. And like the fact that we're talking about Eminem being gay in a trailer park it feels like the most dangerous thing.
Yeah,
we've
it's
ever done.
dangerous.
It feels like the FBI could like come bursting in here and like gun us down.
More just like our neighbor Jerry.
that too,
The
Jerry.
what kind of FBI
Do you really have a
is
neighbor
tied
named
to the
Jerry?
trailer
I don't
park?
talk to our neighbors.
I don't know.
Federal Bureau of Incest.
Your neighbors talked to us. They yelled at us that one time.
They
We were
did.
dog
They
sitting.
did.
Dude,
Dwight.
they suck, bro.
They do. Neighbors, if you're listening,
They could. They very well could be.
I hope
mean,
they are to this episode. At the very
I don't
least.
think they'd be listening on.
We're just
YouTube.
the weird liberal
Yeah.
neighbors that nobody talks to.
We really are.
I love that.
But like you said, so he's getting interviewed about this app, right? Mm-hmm. And his response after saying like I use Grindr, which is like the funniest shit ever.
Right.
And then he goes, I don't use dating apps. I'm fucking Eminem. Like, you idiots. Like, you
Right.
think you're gonna be on Tinder and it's gonna be Marshall Mathers. Like, no.
His
Absolutely
team.
not.
He's like, I love my kid and rap music.
I'm from Detroit. I'm a good old boy.
His team is just always so ready to be like, he's not gay though. I know he
there,
said this, but he's
I
not gay.
jumped to tell
He's
him.
just joking.
But he then retorted with just like, I don't use that shit. And it's like that's like we said before.
Yeah.
That's an admission.
Yeah.
Of him being gay, because he's not. Because if he wasn't gay,
He'd
and
be like, "Oh, I didn't know what Grindr
and he
was."
found out
Yeah.
Grindr was gay, he would denounce the fuck out of it. He'd be like,
Right.
"Wait,
Or-
I'm not gay. Sorry, I said Grindr. That was just a misunderstanding." But instead, he was just like, "I don't use apps."
Or like when he
but
made
if I would, I'd use Grindr.
like when he
Yeah,
made the
I mean-
joke, if he had just said Grinder, then the joke would be like, haha, like gay. But he said Tinder and Grinder, and the joke is him using apps, not him using a gay one.
Right.
Like, you see what I mean?
It
like,
was snuck in. He could have just said Tinder or Grindr as the whole joke.
right, but he
Yeah.
didn't do that. He chose not to. And as a gay person, I will say that, like, you know, you make a lot of jokes about being gay. It's funny. It's funny to be gay.
Especially if you're super famous and you're in the closet and you've been trying to tell people for decades.
Right.
And they're just
and
like
I think at this point,
plugging
that
their
one
ears.
scene-
I was
This
about to
is a
mention
good-
that, yeah.
yeah.
So, should I just play the scene? I mean, I could probably play the audio, or we could just talk about it.
I don't know. I mean, will we get copyright struck down if
don't-
we play the audio from it?
I think this is a transformative thing, so I could probably play it. Or we could just, like, talk about what happened.
We can just discuss it, I guess.
Yeah. Let's just
Yeah,
talk.
Like,
whatever
you remember
is
the
easiest for
interview?
you
Remember
guys.
the interview was like a cultural moment.
Yeah, 2014 when the interview was not allowed to be released into theaters based on threats from North Korea.
And it's crazy because I remember watching this movie, but I don't remember the scene we're about to discuss at all.
Me
like,
either.
I'm part of it. I'm
I
part
never
of the
watched
fucking
it,
problem.
but, you know.
Of course you didn't, Bridget. No, I'm just kidding.
I watched it too, and I didn't remember, and Logan didn't remember.
and like, we're part of it. We're like fucking part
Oh
of the
my
culture
God.
that erases Eminem's gayness,
it's
dude.
collective brainwashing. We're all being brainwashed to not see
Eminem's
Eminem
not
as gay.
It's crazy.
So he basically says, like,
He did a cameo in the
he
interview.
did a cameo, and the character played by the now disgraced James Franco is interviewing him. And basically, like, it comes out naturally. Like, why do you say homophobic things? He's like, I think it's because of where I grew up in, because I'm gay. And he's like, wait, what? And, like, he's like, yeah, I'm gay. And it's just like Eminem being like, I thought it was obvious. I've been sprinkling gay breadcrumbs to
For
people for
years.
years. And it's true. Like, that's another breadcrumb. Open your fucking eyes, people.
Right, like, he
Eminem
literally
is
says
gay.
it. And then somehow when he does that, it's like, haha, Eminem jokes about being gay on the interview. Like, he's literally telling us he's gay all the time.
And then his like publicist is like, shut it down. Don't let him say this, shut it down. And they're just like, fuck you, no.
Like, I'm sorry for screaming, but I'm passionate, dude.
Right?
It's like, it's so crazy.
I'm so nervous that someone's gonna bust through that door and be like, you're talking about how Eminem's gay?
You're saying Eminem's gay?
Like,
next thing you'll say Ja Rule's gay.
Ja Rule.
Next thing you're gonna say is Trump's a bad guy.
Oh boy, I can't handle it.
I don't think you should yell that in the trailer park. Anyway,
yeah,
but yeah,
let's
like,
look out our window,
just,
make sure we're safe.
But my point being is, if you even look at the status of Eminem as a person, like the way he composes himself in interviews, the way he acts in music videos, how it's like a totally different polar opposite version of himself.
Yeah,
you get the sense that he's hiding something,
right?
But also not.
Gay
Listen,
breadcrumbs.
I think he knows that his career is going to be affected if he admits that he's gay.
But then I also think that at the same time,
think that like people who are looking for it, who need who even more so relate to M because they understand like the hiding and the way that feels. I feel like he leaves these breadcrumbs for that reason as well. To be
that makes sense.
But I do think to a certain degree, like when things like this happen, he does get a certain amount of publicity from it. And I don't think that I don't think that's his reasoning.
No, but not really though, because nobody ever knows what the fuck's going on. That interview thing, we didn't know. True. The song leaked, nobody heard about it. Like,
I think 10 years
the
time.
Night quote was like in the depths of hell that I dug it.
Yeah, or maybe
I think that maybe their
with like the homophobic
pushes
lyrics.
it down.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it's a good public thing for him to. Or it would be, but
his homophobic lyrics kind of get his name out. Like,
I think.
But here's the thing about rap that people don't realize is that like in order to make a good rap, you have to be like completely true with yourself.
True.
Because it's from your basic monologues and like dialogues and the way you speak. And he probably uses a lot of homophobic slurs because he's a fucking gay person.
I think 10 years time, Eminem is just out of the closet, and it's not a big deal.
I think especially if it doesn't happen in 10 years, it will happen posthumously.
I think so. Yeah,
I agree.
Like people are gonna be like,
but I feel like with the way like socially things are changing and like Lil Nas X and like shit like that, like. I feel like 10 years time,
I think
Eminem's
there's too
out of the
many
closet.
fuckboys out there who care too much about Eminem.
Yeah, but I think Eminem won't give a fuck in 10 years. I think he'll just be done.
I think he will though.
You think so?
I think he will. I think
at the very least, I think it'll happen posthumously.
I think it'll happen posthumously.
Yeah.
I think it could happen sooner than that, but I'm just looking at Eminem as far as a career. He may be very open, but he's also a very closed off person.
Yeah, like
he might not
saying.
want to share that part of himself publicly in general.
He usually doesn't. Like,
I think
private.
It could not even be that it's like a big secret. Maybe he just doesn't want to come out and
That's
be like,
kind of the way I feel about it. I feel that like because he's not exactly hiding it because he says it all the time.
Like kind of like Elton John at first.
Right,
It was like an open secret.
He's hiding it in that like fun little subliminal way where he's fucking with people.
Right, and he makes jokes about it and shit.
But the fact is, like, why would he do it? You know, like people are like, he just does that to like fuck with people.
But why?
Why to this extent? Why this long?
Right.
Yeah.
Unless it's something.
To say.
Yeah. So I think that I do kind of get the impression that he's kind of a private person, and maybe he just doesn't. He knows it would kind of hurt his career, and he doesn't really care to come out, but he's also doesn't really care to like drop it. You know what I mean?
Don't forget that because he. I mean, I don't want to like be like because he's a white guy, but because he's a white rapper, he is consistently the target of diss tracks by other rappers and like all this other shit.
Yeah.
He's not going to open himself up for somebody to attack him because people do it anyway. He doesn't want more of that.
Yeah.
He even says it himself. He's like, I'm getting tired of replying with disses to people that just don't even have the right to talk about me.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not even good enough to talk shit about me. Why should I have to reply every time?
Fair enough.
But yeah, because that's the rap culture. You got to be the tough boy.
Yeah. And that is gay in itself. Like, and then
especially the performance
how many
of
female rappers are there, and then how many of them are like lesbians?
Oh, a lot of them. Yeah.
Like we have to talk about that.
I really feel
bit.
like tell us if you're somebody who's into rap culture and you are secretly gay and that's a thing. Just give us an anonymous email that we're on the right track because I feel like this is like
just email us. Yes,
I feel like maybe you guys didn't grow up gay in the right area and you might have been involved in hip hop otherwise. I feel like it's a secret. A secret gay culture. I really do.
Wait, are you saying like me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If you had like grown up in like an area that was like heavily involved with rap and hip hop, I have a feeling that like you would totally have taken to it because it is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I will say that I always have loved like rap and hip hop, and I listened to it a lot when I was a kid, and like that was
Like Queen Latifah was my celebrity crush, and
Love
like,
Queen Latifah.
and I like she's a lesbian, I know.
Oh, well, I mean, yes.
But but it's like, of course, one of the female rappers.
There are some
like,
really good lesbian rappers out there like now that I do love.
Okay, well anyway, we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think it's time to close it out. But I think
there's plenty more research, but like maybe we'll make it if this gets like a lot of views, maybe we'll make like a elaboration video. But I feel like this is good and contained for what we wanted to talk about. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you think Eminem is gay.
Or if you
like what other rappers do you think are gay? Like leave that in the comments, or celebrities in general. I'm a person who loves celebrity culture generally.
Oh, she does.
So if you think that there's like some celebrity that's gay and you want to pop that thing open, then like leave it in the comments.
Also,
I want to know about it.
If you know of any other Eminem breadcrumbs of being gay, let us know if we missed something. We would love
Definitely.
to hear it.
This is our project, guys. Like, this is a community thing where we're like building a body of evidence. This is our shared bulletin board with red strings.
We all just take it to the New York Times together.
Oh my God.
This is the gay Eminem thesis.
And it's like, and here's the thing, it's a little tough because I don't want to like outwardly out him, but at the same time, like I'm just using the evidence he's given me that I think he clearly wants some people to know that he is out.
I don't think
and I feel like our community is the one that he'd want to know.
Right. I don't think that that would be outing him. I think that he's given enough evidence by saying I'm gay a lot.
As Eminem would say, don't speculate,
gay.
spectate.
And I mean, and
it's not about what everybody says, it's about what he's doing.
Correct. And in no way is it a diss. Like I still like Eminem, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly,
I like him better, I think.
Better
maybe.
now.
Yeah, Madison definitely likes him better now. She's trying to play like she's an Eminem fan, but like she wasn't until recently.
No, not until all this, but no, I like him better now.
It was so weird
And
because it was so weird because I was out of town when all of this started to occur. And so I came back and Madison was like, Eminem is gay and you have to watch this cleaning out your closet video. And I was like, what?
That was the first thing we did when I saw Bridget. I was like, okay, you want to watch the cleaning out my closet video? Because it's a lot.
We got dinner and as we were eating, she was like, you have to watch. No, it wasn't even before.
It was before we left to go to get the dinner.
Yeah.
You just like the second year reunited. Like, here you go.
Hey, like, hey, I love you. I missed you. Here's the cleaning out my closet.
Yeah, like she goes
Like
to hug you and kiss you and you're just like, watch this instead.
Eminem is gay.
All right, guys. Franny, plugs. Do them.
Yeah, so Logan and I have another podcast with our friend and recording artist CL Blue / Cody. It is called A Pilot Podcast where we review TV shows.
YouTube.com/pilot podcast. You can also get it anywhere like Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, check out my personal channel, youtube.com/Logan Tyler. Sorry, Logan Tyler Music. I dominated you. Not in the Eminem kind of way, though.
Not in a gay way.
No, not in a gay way. And I respect the fact that you make adorable music with your family, but I'm a fucking entertainer over here. Anyway.
I do art. I have an Instagram account. It's at gentleandkind__.
I feel like I wasn't done with my plug.
Oh, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
I'm done now.
Oh, sorry.
Y'all are going to have to just go to the channel to figure out what's on there. I will not tell you.
Oh. I'm sorry. I really did think you were done.
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
I know.
You can also find us youtube.com/crosscutcinema if you're listening on another platform.
I guess that's true. You might not be. If you do, please subscribe.
Yeah, please like and subscribe. You can email us crosscutcinema@gmail.com. Let us know if you think Eminem's gay, like we said.
Or if you don't,
crosscutcinemapod@gmail.com.
crosscutcinemapod@gmail.com. Correction, crosscutcinemapod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at crosscutcinema.
And even if you don't think Eminem is gay, let us know that too. I would love to hear a compelling counter argument.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not going to be mad if you're defensive about it and you have a different approach. Just explain to me how he's not.
Yeah, I would love to hear your thesis on Eminem not being gay, as much as I hope you enjoyed ours on Eminem being gay.
It can't just be but I identify with Eminem and I'm not gay. It's like, well, first of all,
you can identify with
anybody, but also
right.
I don't know. No,
Are you gay?
I'm just kidding. All right. Later, y'all.
We love you.
Bye.